was like
Unreal.
mid-crank. He's got fucking
Whoa.
X videos pulled up and sees Turner's name pop up. Playing D&D? Like, I guess. Finish it up real quick.
So we're short Lala and Luke.
Lala will be here soon. Luke has an audition, so he will not be joining us tonight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so all your sneak attack will be brought to you by Richard tonight. No, Lingo doesn't even have sneak attack yet, does he? No, we're still level 1. Damn it, DM.
Hey, that's the whole point of this mission. The whole point we're here. Let me make sure I got all my stuff. Grab a drink.
Audition's more important than hanging with the boys, huh?
I know.
I mean, it could be.
Unreal.
Saturday Night Live can wait. Just saying.
Is he
That's what I'm
auditioning
saying,
or
dude.
is he hosting auditions?
I don't know. I didn't.
No, he's auditioning for a sketch being, or like a show or something being put on by a writing student. The writing students, after so many years of or classes of writing, you get to put together like a show and write for that. And you cast other students for it. So he's auditioning for that.
That makes sense. So after Second City's like, hey, you've paid us $25,000 over the last couple of years. Why don't you go ahead and make yourself a show?
That's probably been closer to like $5,000, but yeah.
How much was the thing that you did?
Like 300. Classes are all about 300.
That's not bad.
A class.
Class? Or for like the
per
whole
class. Well, like
class.
not like per week, but like per 8-week class.
Okay. Well, sometimes you get a workout package and it's like, oh yeah, it's $80 per class, not $80 per month.
I guess I can't
wasn't
find my
very
glasses.
Dude, you don't have to
Couple minutes.
apologize for that, dude.
Dude,
go get LASIK, dude. Put it on a fucking credit card. What are they gonna do? Come take your fucking eyes?
Lingo is literally just a guy with a bow.
A bow sword.
A bow sword.
I got it corrected this week. He's actually got a bow now.
Yeah.
And he's not even here.
So I thought it was like actually a bow sword.
No.
Why isn't it a bow? Like can we just retcon that?
No.
That's cool, dude.
You don't shoot swords from bows.
That's kind of silly.
How do you know, dude?
Yeah.
Because they're too heavy.
They
don't have fletching.
This is all like very like real physical stuff. I think D&D like all about like the imagination and magic.
Yeah, I like to imagine it as true to realistic as I can, I guess. All right. So is everybody ready to go ahead and get started with a recap? Oh, and Megavanen, by the way. No, not yet. Okay.
Yeah, you too, man.
Somebody give me a recap.
I mean, I'd love to, but I wasn't here last week, so I have no idea.
Spitball it, dude.
So somebody other than Targon.
Make some shit up.
We went someplace and did something. That's my guess.
How did he fuck that up?
Somebody give me a recap. How about Zimmy?
Oh my god, guys. Okay,
I'll try. I'm usually pretty stoned by the time we stop. So our journey started last time with our arrival back into Bree after getting back from the Chetwood area. Came back. We had a conversation with some warden ranger looking dude at the police station for reasons that Zimmy doesn't really understand or remember. We then went back up to the hotel, or not the hotel, but the inn, Prancing Pony. We met up with Gandalf, who was very adamant about all of us being in his room. It's kind of weird. But after he gathered us, the party in the room, he gave us some marching orders. And then we took about a week off. So we spent like a week just kind of fucking hanging out in town. Cillian just kind of sulked around. Freya was just kind of worried about not embarrassing themselves. Simi was just getting drunk and gambling. Born was just grinding his teeth, waiting to go. And then Targon was busy bandaging his wounds for, just like incessively, almost obsessively. And then once that week was up and we all felt like the party was in a place to where we could take on some more action, we saddled up, and not actually saddled up, figuratively saddled up, and took a northern route into the Weather Hills. Now we're in the Weather Hills, but nowhere near Weathertop. And once we were in the Weather Hills, we set out to build camp and do a little hunting, running low on food. And there we encountered a guy, seemingly another ranger. There's so many rangers in this world. We found another one. He was getting attacked by boars. So Zimmy stood by while everyone else did the work to kill the stuff. And right after we got them all freed up and not worrying about it, we were thinking about setting up camp and cooking some bacon. I believe that's where we ended.
Yep, that's about where we ended. Point of inspiration for Zimmy. Another point of inspiration for anybody who can remember either of the people's names at the jail.
Started with an H, I think.
That is wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember their names.
Prisoner 1 and Prisoner 2.
So Oswin Lockjaw was the jailer.
Lockjaw.
And Aldrich Holt was the leader of the wardens in Bree, the son of Alira Holt from Archette.
Am I spelling it wrong, or does Holt start with an H?
It does.
Oh, okay.
So a couple things to clean up from last session. I forgot to tell everybody to remove a shadow point when you took your fellowship phase and did your rest. So anybody who has shadow points can remove one shadow point. Also, I messed up a little bit on the journeying phase. I didn't do that quite right. So next time we do a journeying phase, I'll be better and expect something a little different. Also, I forgot to do the fatigue saving throw when you guys showed up here. So to start off this session, I would like everybody to roll me a Constitution saving throw. Everybody who was on the trip, that is. And remember your fellowship points. You guys chose to strengthen fellowship last time, which adds a +1 to that pool of fellowship points you have. Excuse me.
But I think Lingo used one, so I think we have 7. 7 out of 8, I think, right now.
Okay. And your regular inspiration points as well. Because we haven't experienced fatigue saving throws yet, but to remind you guys, A base check is a DC 10. If you fail it, that's 1 point. If you fail it by 5 or more, that's 2 points. If you fail it by 10 or more, that's 3 points. Yeah, Zimmy does have something that gives him advantage. I believe. You're right.
On what?
Not Zimmy, Lingo, I'm sorry. Lingo has something that gives him advantage on 15
It's not
saving throws.
advantage, but it's a bonus equal to his. It's a bonus
Or
equal
more.
to his level.
Mm.
Okay.
So I'm about to do that now.
Also, I still have access to Targon sheet.
That's all right. So who didn't I get?
You still haven't got Lingos. There it is.
Okay. So
Plus
everybody
1.
but Zimmy and Boren failed. Would you guys like to use some inspiration? Noting the consequences that I just told you about.
So you
Um,
want to
I
roll
think-
low?
No, you want to roll high.
So opposite of what Turner said.
Right.
Bourne and Zimmy fucked.
Yeah, is that not
give
what I
me 1
said?
second.
Sorry.
He said everybody.
You said
except
everybody
Boris
but
Zimmy.
Yeah, that's not what I meant.
So we're both taking 2 points right now?
That would be correct.
Hold on.
Mm. And what is the
I
negative
do have
effects
an
of this?
inspiration. I'm going to use it.
What was your question, Zimmy?
Hey Joe, if you right click stuff and hit view item, it'll pop up the flavor box without putting it in chat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I forgot about that. I was just coming
Everyone
back
does it.
to see
yeah.
if it was doing the same thing. I've never played on this
So,
platform.
No, you're
just FYI, 2 levels of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks and halved speed.
That's for
Okay.
all of us, or just the people
pe-
that rolled low?
The people that failed.
people that aren't inspired to do well. All right, I'll do it another one.
There we go. Okay.
There we go,
Everybody
yeah.
passes. That's much better. All right. So we're going to jump into it here. So the sun dips low over the trees, casting long amber shadows across the forest floor. The heavy silence that followed the chaos of battle is slowly replaced by the rhythmic rasp of skinning knives and crackle of fresh wood catching fire. The air is thick with the scent of blood and pine. Flies already buzz around the cooling bodies of the boars. The new ranger, still catching his breath, watches the company with a mix of awe and quiet gratitude, blood streaking down one of his sides from a deep cut from one of the boar's tusks. A hush settles in the clearing as the camp begins to take shape. Worst of the day is over, or so it seems. Yet somewhere deeper in the woods, the wind changes, something ancient stirs. And though the fire brings light, the darkness beyond it seems thicker tonight. What's everybody up to? Got a new guy around here. What's up with him?
Yeah. It says, my name is Eldor. Thank you. You saved my life, surely.
What are you doing way out here?
It's kind of my territory. I'm a warden of the Weather Hills. My ancestors and I'm the last, have ranged this land since Amon Sul was built by Elendil.
Anybody who's proficient with old lore, roll me an old lore check.
So technically, Boren's only proficient with it in dealing with his jeweler's tools or like stone tools, stuff like that. However, Lingo, I believe, is proficient. Hold on. Let me see the exact ability. Sorry, guys. where is it? Folklore. I possess some knowledge of the many traditional customs, beliefs, and stories of the various communities that compose the free. Would this pertain to that? Seems like it would.
Yeah, it
right?
would. It would. And I'll say
Okay.
you can roll it too, Boren.
Okay. I don't like the way these character sheets are set up compared to like the old one.
Yeah, it's a little new.
And Elder mentions that he was. I'm out tracking a beast that I've heard was in the area. Supposedly
Oof.
really fast. Looks like a shadow, about the size of a horse. It drags its prey away. You guys seen anything like that?
Can't say that we have.
So Boren, as he says the word Amansul, you kind of ring back to some old papers, some old stories you read about the founding of Anor and the placement of these watchtowers across the land, and Amansul was one of them. And you know that he's talking about what is more commonly referred to as of Weathertop.
Okay.
Nobody really calls it by that name anymore. So continue. Killian said, "Can't say we have."
Yeah. Well, that's what I was looking for when I saw the boars and I shot an arrow at one, and all it did was piss him off. And then his friends came. So again, I thank you.
It's no problem at all.
Well,
And did I hear right? This is out of character. That two of you have 2 levels of exhaustion.
No.
Okay. Okay.
What were you saying, Boren?
no, nothing. I was pretty much going to respond to him.
What are you
Well,
guys
then-
doing in this area? Sorry to stepped on somebody there.
Nope, you're good.
Well, we're tracking a beast.
Probably the same one, huh?
I should think likely so.
Say, laddie, who put you up to this task here? A friend of ours sent us this way. What about you?
Uh, someone from passing through was attacked, and they approached me. Everybody knows I live right near Amansul. It's where my wife is buried under a silver birch. And it's just kind of my duty and the duty of my ancestors. We've protected this area for thousands of years, and I'm an ancestor, or I guess I'm a direct descendant of King Arvaleg of Arthedain, who died defending the tower when the Witch King of Angmar attacked, and the tower was destroyed that day. But my line has always stood guard.
Aye, then we probably share blood. The road
Probably.
north to Fornost only separates our territory.
Yes, and the Amansul used to hold a Palantiri seeing stone, and you can see all over Middle Earth. The rumors say that it was taken to Fornost and never seen again, but my grandfather and my great grandfather before him and my great great grandfather before him all insisted that it was still here or in this area. And they've passed down from generation to generation a riddle. And I'll put it in the chat.
I'll take care of that. Go ahead.
All right, but it is
Keep role playing.
beneath the crown of broken flame, where stars were watched and kingdoms named. Seek the step that never falls, the shadowed gate behind gray walls. When moonlight shines on stone made bare, the hidden path reveals the stair. Speak the name of he who saw, and through the flame unveil the law. I think this relates, well, not just me. Everyone before me thinks it relates to the Palantir, and we think it's somewhere hidden underground.
Appella, what you say?
It's a seeing stone.
Whoever would like to can roll me an old door check on that.
Y'all don't know shit about dick.
I'm gonna use inspiration on that. Hell yeah, dude.
Which you got a 23 or okay, you got a 6. So none of you have ever heard of a Palantir? Palantiri.
What about Targon?
Nope.
Nice.
Add 4 onto Lingos, because that would be a Legend of the Free Peoples, correct?
It would, but yeah, it doesn't help. Nobody's
Still doesn't
ever heard
help?
of it.
Okay.
Well, what do you be seeing with this stone?
Anything in Middle Earth.
I kind of looks up at Freya's from his vantage point, just sees like covered underboob, but
Yeah.
Do you need only think
And,
of what you want to see?
There's yes, and there's I believe a network of towers throughout Middle Earth that each one had one, but because of where Amansul is located, militarily, it's right in the center. It had the most powerful one. I don't. If I'm talking out of school, Turner, let me know.
Oh, you're doing great.
All right. It's a very powerful artifact. So should we butcher some of these boars?
aye, sounds like a tall person type of thing.
And he starts getting to it.
Yeah, Borin and Lingo would obviously give him a hand. Actually, Borin would make the fire.
Yeah, Zimmy would be putting the pots and pans. think Samwise. He could be making sure that the foods get cooked.
Yeah, so everybody goes off to do their own little tasks, getting the camp together. We did rolls last session for the skinning and whatnot. We noted down what everybody's take was. Welcome, Freya.
And Freya's carrying it all.
Go ahead and roll me that.
I already
feat
did.
saving throw.
It most likely failed.
What was it?
It was a Constitution saving of 5.
Yeah. So would you like to use inspiration on that? You have your
Yeah.
personal inspiration, and you also have fellowship points.
Yep.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got
I use
7.
my personal one.
And just to
Yeah,
remind
it's
you, the
better.
consequences, a base fatigue save is DC 10. If you fail it by 5, if you fail it, it's 1 point of exhaustion. If you fail it by 5 or more, it's 2. If you fail it by 10 or more, it's 3.
Okay. Well,
Ugh.
21.
All right, so we're all good. So yeah, everybody settles in for the night, making their own little, making themselves busy with their own activities, setting up camp. You guys cook some nice boar meat for the night and settle in for a nice short rest. Everybody can take their short rest if we didn't do that, if you didn't do so last session. And as the next morning comes, the sun rises and the birds fill the air with their morning song. Everyone readies themselves for the day's hunt, packing up camp, setting out deeper into the weather forest. Forest grows denser as the day moves along. Around midday, everybody roll me a perception check. So everybody hears it, except Zimmy.
Of course.
Except Zimmy and Elder. Couple 100 feet away in the woods, you hear the sound of snarling and snapping of jaws and a deep, heavy growl. What would you like to do?
Boren's gonna kind of motion to Lingo to, you know, to squat and kind of fan out to surround it. And they're gonna kind of try to stealth and come at it from the sides, motioning to the rest of the party to kind of, forward, kind of move forward.
All right. Everybody else, what are you guys doing? Following?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stealthily move
Only
forward.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody
Elder-
roll me stealth checks.
Elder strings his bow.
I am super loud.
You're not alone.
So I'm talking to you.
All right. So party kind of fans out and starts moving towards the sound.
I am stepping on every stick, banging into every tree. I am making a ruckus with my nat one.
Yeah, Freya
So-
too.
Freya's just walking upright.
Freya at least has a 2, not a nat 1. It's just...
So from you guys start to move closer to the sound. You move what you think is about halfway there, within 100 feet or so. Anybody who's proficient with hunting or nature can give me a corresponding check.
How would I do hunting? But is it on the thing?
Yeah, it's on your character sheet.
Oh, maybe I guess I just have nature.
So anybody who rolled a 12 or higher can make out these sounds as the one coming from a bear and the others are coming from wolves. As you make your way closer, the midday sun filters through the trees, casting dappled shadows on the mossy ground. From a clearing up ahead, partially blocked by underbrush and boulders, you hear the growling, snarling, and thud of heavy movement. As you move onto the map, everybody should be able to see.
Yep.
All right, you can place your guys' characters. Don't move any closer, but you can fan them out, spread them out, put them in whatever kind of marching order you'd like. Excuse me. And as you guys move to the edge of this clearing, I need everybody to roll me initiative. As you see the bear swat one of these wolves like a sack of potatoes and kind of turns and looks towards your direction.
Initiative. There it is. I'm just rolling my crap.
Everybody up there.
Now
Lingo
we do.
yet? There we go. All right. So first up is the wolf that just got swatted. He is going to lunge in at the bear and kind of snarl and snap at his arm, but gets a mouthful of fur as his jaws just kind of slide off. Zimmy, you're up.
Zimmy's gonna run. There we go. I'm just gonna run up over here. And he's gonna turn to his right and look at the other short person and go, "Hey, Borin, make sure when you're aiming, you close one eye." And he's going to provide a a rhyme of lore to Borin, and he's going to say, "When you close one eye, you're a hell of a guy. Fire, shoot, let it fly."
I like it. Anything else?
Nope, that's his turn.
All right, Lingo.
Right. So 5 30 feet. Measuring tool. Not what I wanted. He is in range though. So will be or not Zimmy, sorry, Lingo. So dumb.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Shooting at the bear.
Yeah. Five damage.
5 points of damage as you sink an arrow in it. Doesn't seem to penetrate very well. Anything else?
I think that's all he can do right now.
Good work. All right. Borin.
Okay. Warren. No, actually, it's going to put on this way. I'm going to come down in here. I would like to take the hide action.
All right, roll me a stealth check. You kind of run up, ducking around one tree, kind of lining yourself up where you're out of sight of the bear, but kind of behind one of the trunks of the tree. Got a good idea. He probably didn't see you slip over there.
All right.
Anything else?
I think that's what Boren's going to call it.
All right, Freya, daughter of Thora.
All right, Freya will simply move up. Right there. Nope, I want to actually slide. There you go. And I will also take said hide action.
All right, roll me a stealth check. Hey, you kind of do the same thing, running up, kind of trying to line yourself up behind one of these tree trunks. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. This wolf's turn. It lunges in for a bite. You see it kind of, as the wolf on the bear's leg is kind of slipping away with a mouthful of fur, this one takes the opportunity and jumps in and gets a nice little chunk out of the neck of the bear, dealing a little bit of damage. Targon.
So we're going to move up and attempt to hide.
All right, roll me a
And I
stealth
say
check.
attempt to hide because I haven't been doing too well on those.
Yeah, you kind of do the same as your party members, ducking behind one of the trees. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be it.
All right, Eldur.
He's gonna move to right here, and he's gonna take a shot at the bear. Just a minute.
10 is going to miss.
All
Your
right,
arrow
and then
goes sailing just over its head.
he's gonna just move back into cover.
All right. Uh, next is the bear. Raises one of his paws, or I'm sorry, as he opens his jaws, biting down towards the one that bit at his arm. He rips a chunk out of the back of its neck, kind of tossing it to the side. Its lifeless body thuds up against the trunk of the tree. As he turns his attention back to the other wolf. Killian.
All right. Have I been seen?
Yeah, they're aware of your presence.
All right, I'm taking a shot at the bear.
All right. An 11's gonna miss. Your arrow thuds into the tree next to it.
Hell yeah.
Anything else?
Kind of slither around in these tree trunks here. It's my turn.
All right. Take us back to the top to Lingo.
To Jeff,
It's-
right?
it's
Zimmy?
me.
I'm sorry, Zimmy. Why am I getting your names mixed up?
Well, I started it.
Zimmy's just gonna run up to this spot over here. And he's just gonna kind of look in awe at the bear as it's fighting all of us and two wolves. And he will pull his flute out and ready himself to smack the bear if it chooses to run at him.
All right, is that it?
Mhm.
Lingo.
Okay. So, couple questions. How tall are these trees?
Fairly tall. Some of them upwards of 50, 60 feet.
Okay. How tall do the branches?
Most of the branches don't start for a good 8, 10 feet up.
Okay. In that
Yeah, dude,
case,
this is a very old forest, very large tree.
okay, Zimmy is going to, sorry, Lingo is going to take his shot.
And
15?
he's gonna hit.
Hell yeah. Edge. For 9?
Sink another arrow in. Again, not seeming to penetrate very well. But it did do some damage.
Okay.
Is that all?
That's it.
Boring.
Uh, DM, real quick.
Yes.
What kind of damage is sneak attack damage? Is it the same as the weapon damage, or is it separate damage?
It's usually the same type as the weapon damage.
Is it? All right.
I don't know that for sure, but that makes sense to me. And that's what I'm going with in the moment.
Because to me, the damage is coming from the, the surprise of it all.
All right.
Fine. Fine. Give it resistance to my sneak attack.
To me, it's more like
Um,
the sneak gives it. Oh shit! Like a
Well, that's
situational
a
crit.
yeah, you're gonna need that resistance to my sneak attack.
roll me some damage. Remember,
Oh yeah.
max out your first die and then roll your second die and your sneak attack die.
Okay.
What's your bow do? A d6?
Yeah.
And your dex is +3 or 4?
Hold on, that was wrong.
So yeah, it'd be 9 plus 3 d6.
Okay. So I got 2 more d6 to roll.
3 more d6 to roll.
No, because one of them's an auto, and then I get
You're
4
gonna
dice
do-
total. I just rolled a d6. I gotta roll 2 more.
You gotta roll 3 more. Because you get 2 from your weapon, and then you'll get 2 from the sneak attack.
Yeah, but one of those is maxed out, right?
Oh, okay, I see. You're gonna use the roll that you just... Okay, my bad.
Yeah.
I understand now. So 9 plus 4 plus 7. So 20 damage.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Nice.
Same thing. Doesn't seem to penetrate very well, but you hit him in a critical spot, just in the below the shoulder blade.
Could have traded better than
Roar.
Lingo's.
Roars out in pain as his eyes flick towards you. Anything else?
Yeah. I am going to do what I should have done with Lingo. I'm going to Got the- Gonna move to the base of this tree, 10 feet, and I'm going to climb it 10 feet.
All right. Yeah, so I'll say it's just going to be half your movement to climb.
Yeah, that's why I
So-
said 10 feet. So,
Okay, so you're using the rest of your 20 feet of movement to climb 10 feet up the tree? Gotcha.
yep.
And is that it?
That's going to be my turn.
All right. Freya. Laura's daughter.
Bong. Well, that's not what I want to do at all. All right, I am going to go. Damn, I don't know, man.
Get in there and hit something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right here, and I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to glaive this wolf.
All right.
And it doesn't matter.
It does not matter as your glaive kind of glances right by it, smacking into the ground. Anything else?
Nope.
So in this game of Shars, Freya's siding with the wolves, huh? It is this wolf's turn. He kind of hops to the side as your glaive lands right next to him. Not quite enough to get his attention as he lashes out at the bear again. Sinking his teeth in and ripping out a section of next to his shoulder. Targon, you're up. Uh, 13 is going to hit.
Oh no,
That's not damage.
that's not damage. That is damage. I wish that other one was damage though. That would have been nice.
Yeah. You slash your sword at this bear. Same thing as the arrows, though. It doesn't seem to cut very deep. It seems like this thing's got a pretty thick hide. Anything else?
I'm gonna get ready to block because I have a feeling it's gonna swing at me.
All right. Eldur.
I question. Can I get through this way?
Yeah.
Like is this between? Okay, 5.
Yeah,
10,
that's like a group of 4 trees right there.
15, 20. Get a shot at the bear. Hopefully, I'll hit it this time.
That's going to miss again.
And that's it.
All right. It is the bear's turn. He turns towards you, Targon. Growling, roaring, hate-filled eyes.
I'm gonna roar back at it, just scream in its face.
As it bends down to bite you with its mighty jaws. What's your AC? 18, right?
18. Yep.
Gonna
18.
hit. As he chomps down on your shoulder, dealing 6 points of damage, kind of lifts you up in the air as he turns and swats at the wolf next to him. Smacking it upside the head. Killian. You're not grappled either, Targon. That was just flavor.
Yeah, I figured.
Taking another shot at the bear.
Go for it. Bet you miss. Yeah, you miss.
No, yeah.
Roll me some damage.
An arrow in the back of my head.
Do I get my evil men perk on this one?
The bear is not an evil man.
Oh, that's
Ever,
too
dude.
bad. That would have been a cool reveal.
As you sink another arrow in this thing, it's starting to look like a porcupine with all the arrows poking out of it. Doesn't seem to be doing a whole. It is hurt. There's blood streaking down from it in many places, but each attack doesn't seem to be doing that much. Anything else, Killian?
That's my
Hit
turn.
it more! Hit it more!
Zimmy, you're up.
Zimmy's going to look at the bear in awe and attempt to hide in place.
All right, roll me a stealth check. Like a cat. Anything else, sir?
No, he's just hiding behind the tree, looking at the bear in awe. I don't think Zimmy's ever seen a bear before.
So I'm imagining him like in the cartoons how the little kid like has one eye poked around the corner,
Mhm.
like you're hiding behind the tree, you got like one eye poked out.
That's 100% what he's doing. Just looking at the bear.
Lingo. Bear's a menace.
Yeah, Lingo's going to fire one over at him. That's a hit.
That's not 11. That's 21. 21 hits.
Didn't find your glasses?
Oh, my cursor was like right on top of the number, and I didn't see the 2.
Been there. Okay.
You sink another arrow in it.
And now we're going to do what he should have done last turn. 5, 10, 15. And then he's going to use his last 20 feet to climb 10 feet up the tree.
All right.
Now,
Boy.
DM, would you say another 15 feet up would get me into branches?
Yeah, I'd say sure. Yeah, you could get somewhere where you could, at least throw your leg over and steady yourself to take a shot.
Yeah. So that's what Boren's going to do is he's going to climb the extra 15 feet up. He's then going to... This thing isn't flanked right now, right?
The bear it is, actually.
Okay. Actually, there's a somebody within 5 feet of him anyway, so I'd get my
Targon and
sneak
the wolf.
attack either way. So, yeah, let's blast one at
it's
him. Hell yeah.
T4
My
is
boys are
gonna
on
nail
fire
him.
tonight. And another D6 too. I forgot to add it. Okay.
Yeah, this bear roars in pain and anger as another arrow sticks into his side, and more blood starts trailing down, blotting onto the floor. Anything else?
Yeah. Bourne's gonna yell, "Get back, you fools! Let us take it from range!" And then he's going to end his turn.
All right, Freya, gonna hit one of these dudes or what?
Nope. All right. Freya's gonna whip out her long sword. Oh, I have to move first.
Oh, yep, you would have to move in a little bit, but then a 24 would hit.
Aim.
And this grievous longsword, it should just automatically do it, but it gets
it
a
did.
+1. Yeah, so you move up this wolf, kind of whipping out your longsword. You flip it around in your hands, grabbing it two-handed, holding it upside down by the hilt, jab it right down next to the spine into this wolf, kind of ripping it to the side, pulling it out as you do. Clearly a heart shot. This thing drops to the ground dead. Go ahead and roll me a perception check as well. It's kind of faint, kind of hard to tell over the commotion of the battle, but somewhere behind you, maybe to your right and behind you, somewhere in that direction, you hear kind of a rustling in the bushes. Anything else?
I am going to. Can you kind of ping like we're?
Yeah, it's somewhere in this direction over here.
All right. I am actually going to use the rest of my movement to go over there.
All right, roll me a perception check if you're trying to look.
Oof.
It sounds like it might be coming from, or it might have come from the bush that's now to your left underneath this big tree right
Okay.
here. Why isn't it pinging? But you can't see anything inside of it.
Okay.
It is the bush.
This dude is dead. Argon.
Yeah, we're gonna do the only thing I can do. Swing at the bear again.
It's dead.
Bear's not dead. The wolf is
I
dead.
Oh, the wolf is dead.
But you got 20 hits. How do you kill this bear?
Ah! I'm gonna stab it right in the heart, right in the middle of the chest.
Yeah, so
Mainly
it kind
because I
of,
want to skin it afterwards. But
yeah, its attention fully on you as you have been dealing it the most damage. It kind of sits back up on two legs, getting ready to raise its great paws and swat at you. But as it does, you're just a little too quick as you jab the sword straight directly in its heart, rip it out as you can see the fury fade from its eyes, and its eyes grow blank and slump over and fall to the ground, dead. You guys are out of combat.
All right. Freya's going to continue looking. She thinks it's probably she assumes that it's going to be a baby animal. Either the wolves or the bear was protecting their youngness. is what she would think. So she's kind of looking for.
I want to
All
attempt
right,
to skin this
small.
bear.
All right, so Freya, you guys see Freya kind of searching the bushes. Elder, you see Freya kind of searching the bushes down there as you move closer.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on her.
I would try to position myself in the tree to where I could maybe see from above, see something. And Lingo would likely climb down the tree and begin to join up with the others.
All right.
But I would be more like on this side.
I want a bearskin cloak.
All right, we'll get to you, Lingo or Targon, Killian, and Zemi. What are you two doing?
Just kind of standing around looking at the tall people.
I'm moving up with the rest of the party, keeping an eye on whatever is going on over there to the south, and I'm gonna try to retrieve some of my arrows.
All right. So, Killian, you go start retrieving some of your arrows. Targon, you turn the bear over, pulling out your skinning knife, getting ready to work on this bear. Zimmy, you come up just kind of observing the area. Boren, same thing, kind of getting closer, checking out what the rest of the party's doing. Elder and Freya, kind of grow closer to this bush, peering inside. Catch a flash of gray as the bush erupts into motion. Elder lunges out at you, grabbing you by your arm, ripping a big chunk out, dealing 9 points of damage. I'm gonna keep you guys back in the same initiative. Zimmy, what do you do? So you moved up some.
Zimmy's just gonna yell and go, "What is that?" And then that's it.
It is another wolf. Lingo.
Does Lingo have line of sight on him?
Kind of hard to see from between the trees and the other side of the bear and everything. I'll say it has
All right.
half cover from where he is.
All right then.
But you can move, at an angle to the side and get a clearer shot.
Somewhere like there.
That'll do it.
All right. Yeah. Gonna notch his bow. Ooh, a 12? Hold on. Oh no,
12
he
is
doesn't
gonna
have it.
miss.
Yeah, he's just gonna miss then.
All right,
It's okay.
Boren.
Does Boren have line of sight?
Yeah, you're on the ground now, right? You got down out of the tree?
No, like I said, Boren was trying to see what they were looking at from the tree.
Okay, so looking down at it from this angle, I'm going to say kind of the same thing as Lingo, looking between the branches and everything at the angle, it's going to get half covered from here.
Okay. Yeah, then Boren is going to. Is it half movement to move down the tree?
Yes. You're trying to climb down.
All right. Fair
Okay,
enough.
you could. I'd let you be creative if you wanted to try to slide and give me a check or jump.
No, it's not worth chancing it. I will drop down, but I can dash, right? I could use the dash action so that I could at least get to the bottom of the tree.
Sure.
Okay. So, yeah. So that should put me at the base of the tree then. And that's all I can do for this turn.
All right, Freya. This wolf just lunged out of this bush at your new friend, ripping a deep wound into his arm. Looks bad.
All right. I am going to grapple the wolf.
Okay.
That's athletics, correct?
Yes, give me an athletics check. You successfully grapple the wolf. It's snarling and snapping and looks very pissed off.
Is there anything else odd about it? Like, is it young? Is it injured? Like, trying to figure out why it was in the bushes.
Not that you can tell.
Okay.
That's it. Looks like a full-grown wolf. Targon.
Uh, I have a clear line of sight on it from here, or no?
You kind of have to move to the side a bit, get around that tree and the bear, and
So like there.
yeah. I guess I could have given you guys a token. This thing's right here, FYI.
Okay. Mm, is that tree low or
You can see underneath the branches.
okay?
You got a clear shot from there.
Yeah, I want to get a clearer shot, so we're gonna go there. And we are going to throw my axe. I don't know if it can be thrown, but it should be able to. It's a simple axe.
Yeah, the hand axe can be thrown. 13 hits. You lodge your axe in this creature's side. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right, Elder.
Elder drops his bow from his bloodied arm, draws his short sword, and is going to take a whack at it.
And
Would
I
this
checked
be
on
with
the
advantage?
rules. It is flanked, so yes, it would be with advantage.
I can't see if that hit or not. Should I roll again?
You should.
I haven't hit anything.
That's gonna miss again, brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's looking really peaked.
Yeah, Elder is looking rough. The wound from his side has started bleeding again. There's now a new large wound on his arm, just
Yeah,
gushing blood all over the place.
Freya would yell at him, move away.
All right. Anything else, Elder?
No, that's it.
Killian. This wolf's gonna kill your friend.
Taking a shot at him.
Shoot him. That hits.
Evil man.
Yes. How do you kill this wolf?
Uh, I'd imagine him being like, with my line of sight, he's like a straight shot between Elder's legs and like down his throat.
All right. You take aim with your bow, slipping the arrow directly between Elder's legs, hitting it right in the throat. Drops to the ground dead. Everybody gains 50 experience from this fight.
Oh yeah.
Now, from the bushes, you guys hear a small whimper.
I fire a shot. No, I'm kidding.
Borin's on edge.
I'm going to approach the bush cautiously.
Yep.
As you guys approach the bush, kind of raising up the outer branches and peering inside, you see what is a young wolf, kind of baring its teeth and kind of growling at you right now.
It appears we've orphaned this one.
You don't suppose we just killed its parents?
Freya would nod and say, "Yeah, I think that's exactly what just happened. I figured the wolves or the bear was protecting their young. Usually, you wouldn't see an adult bear and adult wolves fight each other."
Boren's
Especially-
going to look, he's going to kind of look down, kind of stressed look on his face. He's going to pull out, does he have a dagger?
Kill it or
And he-
adopt it. Maybe you'll be able to tame it.
He's going to pull out a hand axe. And he's going to say, well, may as well not let it suffer. Better
Don't you touch a fucking
mercy
hair
kill
on its
it.
head. It's a pup.
Then what do you presume we do with it?
I don't know. Give it a name. Give it some food.
Freya would nod and say, "They do make excellent scouts."
Say, Freya, sounds like you've had one of these before.
Not me, but I've known hunters who have a much better way with animals than I do, and I've seen all manner of beasts become utility animals.
Well, if you wish to keep it, it shall be your responsibility then.
Oh, Freya, what will you call it?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see how hungry it gets, and whoever it eats, that's whose name it'll get. And then she just kind of wink at Zimmy.
Zimmy's gonna look away quickly.
But Freya would take out a ration and see if she could coax it to come closer.
Yeah, so you pull out some of the boar meat that y'all cooked up the night before. Roll me an animal handling check.
With
It kinda-
advantage.
No, lucky I'm not giving you disadvantage. So it kind of sticks its nose into the air, sniffing a bit, but seems to be very scared as it continues to bare its teeth and kind of sinks itself back a little bit into the bush.
All right. Freya would actually sit herself down so that she would look less aggressive or posturing or anything, and kind of motion the others to like back away or hide.
I'm going to turn my attention to skinning this bear again.
All right. So Freya, you kind of sit down next to the bush, maybe thinking, let everything calm down for a few minutes and see what happens. Targon, you turn back to the bear and continue with your knife. Roll me a hunting check.
Was that for me? You sort of cut out there. I think my internet dropped for a second.
Yes, that's for you.
Okay.
As you continue with your hunting knife working on this bear, you do a fairly good job skinning the bear. However, there's a bunch of holes and slashes and bite marks from this wolf. It is going to be
It's fine. It adds character.
It is going to be a good pelt. So you can label in your inventory, you have a good bear pelt, and it is going to weigh 15 pounds. Do you know how to make an item?
No, I do not.
Okay, so click on your inventory. At the very bottom right, you'll see the plus button. Click
Create
on
new
it.
item.
Yep. Click loot and create new item. And
Yeah, it
then,
gave me an error when I did. Oh no, what's in there? Never mind.
yeah, so then just change the name and change the weight. That's all you really need for that. So what's everybody else doing?
I was asking for a little help binding his wound. Since it's down one arm, he can't really get it.
Yeah, Elder, you see him, he kind of stumbles back up against a tree, kind of slides down to his butt, pulling out some bandages, blood still dripping all over the place as he hollers out for some help.
And you said it's
Why would-
15 pounds?
Yes.
Okay.
Boren?
Warren would try to assist him the best he could,
All right.
cleaning it and wrapping it, whatnot.
Yeah, we'll
He's
say
no medic.
Lingo helps as well. So if
Okay.
you would like to assist Lingo or Lingo assist you, whichever you'd like to do.
What are
feel
we
like
doing?
I'm
Medicine?
expert at bandaging now.
Yeah, medicine check.
While you're attending to him, he says, I don't know that I've ever lost this much blood before. If we run into that beast and I don't make it, bury me by my Sarah. It's at the Silver Birch near my shack at the foot of Amon Sul. And there's a scroll in there with the riddle I told you. Find Ellen Dill's Palantir. If I don't make it.
We'll do our best. Oh, I didn't roll with advantage.
Can I cut some bear meat off too?
Sure.
To give to Freya for the Freya's new puppy.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys get to work on Elder, kind of cleaning up the blood, wrapping this bandage around his very badly wounded arm. He's not looking good. Like, as he's speaking and talking about the blood that he's lost and not making it, you're looking
Yeah.
at him and he's very, very badly hurt.
Born
He's
and
looking a
Lingo are
little
looking
pale.
at each other and like in full, you know what I mean? Like in full understanding of the situation. Like they're both giving each other that like, ugh, look. Like he's not looking great.
All right, Killian, Zimmy. Sorry, Boren, go ahead.
I'm gonna look to the rest of the party then and be like, we need to get him somewhere safe. Perhaps somebody more qualified could look at him. It's not looking good.
Well, how far are we from anywhere at this point?
Just I could probably lay up for a couple weeks at my shack and heal. That's to the south and east of here, but mostly south.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Warren would attempt to help him up then after we've got him wrapped up to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Boren. Are you a dwarf, Boren?
Aye.
You're a good dwarf. Nice to meet you. Well met.
Dad, where are the fluffy things I'm making?
So, Killian, Zimmy, what are you guys up to?
Jimmy's just kind of taking in the sights of all the blood and all the dead things.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Lot to take in.
Too much.
Killian.
Yeah.
Seems like Freya found a wolf.
I'm gonna kind of walk up slowly and maybe try to help her with it. Kind of crouch down next to her, whistle, some tongue clicks. I'm gonna pull out a ration and throw it, like halfway between us and the wolf to try to draw him a little closer.
Telling you, raw bear meat will probably work better than rations.
Yeah, so, and speaking of rations, you guys didn't buy rations before this trip, so you're relying on hunting and collecting day by day, and that's mainly what your job as the hunter is, Killian. Your day-to-day job as you guys are journeying along is to find the party food.
I'm not the hunter, I'm the scout.
You're the scout, whoever the hunter is,
I'm
Targon.
the hunter. I'm the hunter.
Yeah, so it's Targon's daily job to keep you guys fed.
We're
So
having bear meat tonight then.
So you guys, you move up to next to Freya, getting some bear meat from Targon as you do. You guys sit there and kind of whistle at it, clicking your tongues, trying to coax it out. After an hour or so goes by, you guys can roll me animal handling checks. You guys can roll separately, or one of you can give the other advantage.
What's your animal handling? I asked you in message, but of course, Convol ignores me all the fucking time.
Oh, I got
He doesn't like to
2
talk.
messages that I have, or 3 that I haven't seen. Whoops! I got a
This
+5.
All right, I'll go ahead and assist you so that you can have a bonus.
Hold on. So we just stood there for an hour, waiting for them to tame this wolf pelt or wolf pup while
Wolf pelt. Whoa!
while
So-
Elder's bleeding out.
Well, its mom
this
just almost killed me.
So this is all going on kind of at the same time. It's going to take Targon, roughly an hour to skin that bear, So this is all going on at roughly the same time.
Well, how long would it have taken us to tend to Elder and
20 minutes or so. So you guys got some time you could expend doing something.
Probably
yeah,
good to
Boren's
do
not
that.
going to let this guy bleed out. Like
Freya
Boren's going to.
Freya would turn to
So-
Zimmy and Targon as well and say, "Please start making a stretcher for our friend. It'll be a lot easier to
Well, I can
bring him
walk.
along." Oh,
Oh, and to be clear,
I can walk.
his bleeding has stopped. He's not gonna bleed out, but he's not
weak.
healthy either. He's
Needs some oranges.
stabilized, but he's not not healthy.
All right. Well, Boren would be rushing the party during that hour then.
Yeah, you could be looking for a place to camp or setting up a campsite. It's past midday now, and with your friend hurt, might be a good place to stop for the evening.
Oh, we're gonna make camp. We're not gonna try to I thought his house was right down the way. We were gonna.
Oh, it's all the way through the forest, pretty much.
Yeah. So you were the one that knew of Weathertop,
Okay.
and with the map that you got, it would have been marked on there. Amansul would have been marked on there as Weathertop. So
Okay.
it's approximately a couple of days east of Bree, which is going to be probably 6 or 8 days south of where you are.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. Boren would be scouting for a campsite. He would begin setting up a campsite if there was a nice spot, nice and close to where we are.
Yeah, you find. I mean, you're in a nice little clearing here. You're assuming either these wolves, or this bear was making this home and killing both the wolf and the bear. You've probably cleared the alphas of this region.
Okay.
This might not be a bad spot.
Well, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll set up my tent then. Start the fire, that sort of thing.
Zimmy will start cooking once the fire's up. All the 10 fucking hogs, the 2 wolves and part of the bear. So the raw meat's getting cooked.
Okay, so Zimmy kind of takes over the cooking chores.
I'm gonna drag the carcasses away from our campsite, so if they lure anything in, it's not
Smart.
on top of us.
Fair. The Targon gets the carcasses out of the way. Elder, imagine you're kind of just hanging out by the campfire, catching your breath.
As soon as morning comes, I think we should continue to try and find that beast.
What about you? You're not looking well.
I know it's my obligation to take care of it, and I'd be honored if you could help me with my duty. Keep these hills safe.
If that is your wish, then we will carry on. I'm going to look to the rest of the party for their approval.
I can understand your honor in this, but it's more wise to keep one's head on your shoulders.
Each day that passes could be another innocent victim. It's against my code. I can't let it stand.
Freya would nod at him and say, I understand you need to go, but you will be taking the rear. Let us handle it, and you just make sure that we do it correctly.
Well, I'll do what I can. I'm not sure if I can shoot my bow, but I'll try.
Your eyes would be even better than a sword. More or less just saying, keep an eye out for us.
Absolutely.
So as night grows on, sun setting behind the trees, anybody who would like to that might be paying attention to Eldor, roll me a medicine check.
Damn.
Killing this one. So the three of you all can clearly see, the four of you can all clearly see that Elder is profusely sweating, and it's not a particularly hot night. It's early summer, kind of a comfortable night to everybody else. But you guys look over at Elder, and he is profusely sweating.
Yeah, Boren would likely pull at least Freya and Targon over. Be like, yeah, he's not looking good.
He appears to be burning up.
We need to keep him hydrated and feed him. I'll go try and find some form of fruits or nuts. Can somebody
Do we know of any herb that
gather water?
produces fever?
Roll
being
me
young rangers.
Roll me anybody as you bring that up to the party. Anybody who would like to try to think of something like that, roll me a medicine check.
Kingswell?
I roll a nature check since we're out in the woods, and I would know what.
Yeah, I'd say nature or medicine, sure.
Oh yeah.
So Boren and Freya, as Targon says that, both of you say the word at almost the exact same time. Kingsfoil. Kind of a weed with a blue flower on it.
Can I explore for it?
Yeah. Anybody who would like to go look around the area for some kingsfoil, roll me either a nature or survival check.
Oh, I was asking about the explore skill itself.
No, I would say this would be either. Wait. Survival isn't a check in this game.
Right.
It would
Yeah,
be.
you must have been hunting.
Yeah, it would be explore. So either medicine. Wait,
Nature
no.
or explore?
Yeah, nature or medicine. Sorry, nature or medicine.
Nature.
That's
nature
what
or
I meant to
medicine.
say. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
All right. Well, Zimmy's real close to the ground, so it should be easy for him to see this shit.
Yeah, Zimmy being the botanist, kind of thinking back to all of his studies and different plants and leaves, and as Freya's describing this weed with a blue flower, the picture of it almost immediately pops into your mind, Zimmy. You kind of take off through the woods, going in circles kind of around the camp, and not too far off, you find a patch of the famed blue flower.
Oh, is this the one you were talking about? It looks like it matches the description.
Good work, Zimmy.
Aye. You gonna smoke a little pipe weed later?
So what are you guys doing with the king's foil?
I don't remember what we're supposed to do. Mash it
Make-
up, I guess.
Make a
I want to baby
poultice.
bird it to him.
Make it into a tea.
Make
Yeah,
a
that's what I was
poultice.
thinking. A tea.
All right.
Yeah, so Freya, you also know from your knowledge of this plant, you would steep it in hot water, making it into a type of tea.
Yeah.
So I assume you guys do so, taking out one of your pots and boiling some water over the fire. Take the king's foil and steep it in the hot water, and make up some nice king's foil tea and give it to your very badly wounded companion. Elder, as you drink this, it tastes slightly bitter as it goes down, but after a couple sips, you start to feel a relaxing feeling taken over your body.
All right, all right, all right.
Anything else anybody would like to do for this night?
How'd that animal handling check go?
Oh,
The
yeah, I completely
17.
forgot about that.
It was a 17.
17. So as the time wears on, everybody else is busied themselves with other things, searching for the plant and healing their friend. You guys kind of focused on the wolf, coaxing it out, and with a 17 after an hour or so, you do get it to take the food from you.
All right. Freya is going to kind of wander away to where the animal carcasses were kept. And she would take like it would not even like try to like take a pelt or anything, but just a chunk of the fur from the wolf that was closest to the pup and kind of like rub the fur against her, arms, legs, and everything like that, more or less scenting herself as if she was
Okay.
the mother or protector or whatever that wolf was.
Okay.
So morbid.
You wander over, covering yourself in the scent of the wolf. As you come back,
I would do the same to Killian, like I would give him like a small patch of it and just kind of like stick it in his pocket as I go by.
okay, yeah, as you walk back over, were you doing anything particular, Killian, or can I flavor it?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so you walk back over, you come back up, you see the wolf has finished the scraps of meat that you've given it and kind of curled up into a little ball, head tucked down between its legs. You can't tell if it's sleeping or just, still trying to hide its face. Killian, you see him leaning up against the tree next to it, starting his evening routine, checking his arrows and fiddling with his stuff. You walk up and hand him a piece of wolf pelt.
Thank
Is it
you.
RP? There you go.
And she would just kind of like laugh and say it's from one of the other protector wolves.
Yeah, I assume so. Yeah. Seems to have tuckered himself out. Been
Freya
doing
would
stuff for a
nod
long
and
time.
yeah, she would assist with the camp and everything. But after that was all done, or whatever, she would just kind of sit near the wolf pup, not close enough to like freak it out, but more or less just be there, kind of like inviting.
Yeah, so you guys kind of split off doing your own things for the evening. What is everybody else doing for the evening? Anything in particular?
I'm gonna find a good sleeping tree.
Yeah, Elder's just obviously not up to much.
Yeah. Boren, you got anything in
Yeah,
particular?
Boren. I mean, really, Boren would just be kind of. He'd be watching Elder pretty close, but other than that, something he might do is I don't really have any good like woodworking tools or anything, but I would like to try to grab like a decent hunk of wood, like a decent branch or something, and start trying to carve a bow.
Okay.
Like, obviously, this is going to take some work and a while to make. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not a.
What? Just like a better bow than the one you have? Something like
No,
that?
just a regular bow.
You have a regular bow, don't you?
I would like to craft another regular bow.
Okay. Sure.
Or a double bow.
So,
It's a new fighting style.
yeah, without like particular tools, you do have the axe.
Yeah, dude.
So
Give me
roll
like a nature
me.
with disadvantage or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say either nature or hunting to find a decent branch and chop it down. Something that you think you'll be able to make into a bow once you get the proper tools.
Alright.
Freya would smile and kind of like just watch him doing that and just kind of say softly, Boren, are you a woodworker?
When I need to be.
She would just kind of like nod and smile.
16 makes me feel like I'd find an okay stick, dude.
Yeah, are you looking for any type of wood in particular?
Is there a type of wood that's just like really cool lore wise? Because that,
Yeah, yeah, oak, ash, birch, pine, like they all
yeah.
have their little things.
Is
Just-
there
just-
anything specific to dwarfs?
Don't
Like
pick
anything-
a hand.
You would.
Let me see. Anything specific
Specific
to
to
dwarves?
They can't make
Yeah.
bows out of bronze or anything.
Kinda. I mean, you would be able to inlay the shaft with metal just to make it stronger.
You got me.
So, the pine tree in Middle Earth kind of represents a strength and endurance, and
Okay.
the dwarves have always kind of been known for their enduring spirits and longevity.
Okay. Yeah, let's do pine then. If there
Yeah,
is
so
any.
yeah, it doesn't take you long. You find a nice pine tree, and About 15, 20 feet up in the air, you see some of the bushes or some of the branches that start to get a little more thick, and you see one about the right size as you scale the tree and use your hand axe and chop it down. Nice, 4 foot long or so, almost as tall as you. Maybe taller than you. I don't know how tall you are.
That's pine sol fresh, baby.
Yeah, it does smell very, very nice with the fresh smell of pine.
Yeah. Going to keep that then in the old
All right.
inventory.
All right. Anybody else doing anything in specific for the night?
Seeing that Born is looking for a branch, can I go back to the bear carcass and see if I can get a tendon or something off of it for a bowstring for him?
Never heard of bowstrings being made of tendons.
Well, sinew, which is
Right.
like tendons.
I don't know. Is that a thing?
A sinew
Yeah, I
bow.
think it is.
Oh yeah. We're gonna rough a bow out, dude.
It's already done.
Okay, Lingo doesn't have woodworking tools, but he does have cartographer's tools, and Bourne has jeweler's tools. Could we do something with that?
Okay.
Yeah, he's gonna start writing out a blueprint for you.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess from what I'm seeing here, sinew bows are actually a thing in Middle Earth.
Oh hell yeah!
I just did not know that. So
I
yeah,
didn't either. I was going off of you can actually make a bow out of sinew. So
I'll say yes. You could attempt this. Give me a hunting check. I will say hunting. Sounds right. What did you roll?
dirty 20.
Yeah. So which tendon are you going for?
Let's go for one of the leg ones. The longest one that I can get that's still, intact.
Yeah, so you've already got this creature skinned, its carcass laying over there, kind of chunks of meat carved out of it for the night's supper. You pull up one of its legs and target the long tendon running from the shoulder kind of down through the elbow past to where its kind of wrist would be on a human. Take your knife and very skillfully cut the tendon loose.
Yeah, I'll bring that back to Boren and offer it to him as a string.
Borin, you ever seen a tendon used for a bowstring?
I mean, yeah, I guess would Bourne have seen that? Sure, he would have if it's common in.
I
Or
don't
is
know how
that like an
common
elf
it is.
thing?
It's just it is a thing. I don't know how common it is, but I'll leave it up to you if you've ever seen it or not.
He's not exactly like a hunter, but he is a bowman, so yeah, I'd say yeah. He would take it then and thank Targon. This'll work nicely, thank you.
So you two both roll me hunting checks.
Another hunting check?
Yes.
Alright.
So Targon, as you're passing this over, another bit of knowledge comes into your mind about these sinew bows and how to craft one of these bows into
Something
or
usable.
how to craft a sinew into something usable. So you're going to need to cut it into thin strips and braid it with some type of long strands of hair, maybe like a horsetail hair or something like that. And then coat it in some type of tree resin. After that, it should be strong enough and hold enough tension and strength where it can withstand the draw.
All right, I'll explain that to Boren so he knows the process as well.
Hell yeah.
All right. Zimmy, what are you doing?
After Zimmy was done cooking and eating, he's just been kind of looking around and waiting for the proper time to light up a pipe.
Yeah, it's kind of getting relaxed. Everybody's ate their meal for the night. I did want to mention Boren. You said you were keeping an eye on Elder.
Yeah.
About an hour after he drinks that king's foil, you see the sweating start to slow down a lot. He doesn't feel near as warm to the touch as he did. What seemed to be an onset of a fever, you guys might have avoided.
Okay.
Zimmy, as you back to you as you load up your pipe, light it up, passing it around to anybody who would like to partake. Anybody who does, you can get a point of inspiration. Mark that down on your sheets.
Warren would sit with Lingo and Zimby and partake.
Hell
I
yeah.
would as well.
Definitely need some.
Yeah, Zimmy's gonna put the pipe in Alder's face, kind of like not aggressively, but he's not gonna ask for permission to get it very close to his mouth.
Yeah. He has no hesitation.
Nice.
So, Killian, you getting in on that? Yeah. I didn't hear anything from you. All right, so yeah, you guys kind of gather around the fire. As the night deepens and the embers of the campfire crackle softly, Killian, you feel a familiar pull, a weightless sensation, as if the world around you is faded. Your vision blurs, and when it clears, you stand once more in the presence of the mighty hunter. Before you, a towering figure with the piercing gaze of an eternal hunter stands amidst a great forest before a billowing bonfire. His cloak stirs as though caught in an unseen wind. Beside him, a great white horse paws at the ground, its mane shimmering like starlight, its breath misting in the cold air. In his hand, he holds the sword. The weapon gleams in the fire, its edge sharp as frostbite, its hilt marked with ancient runes. The hunter watches you, eyes steady, unwavering. Then without a word, he lifts his sword and strikes it against the sky. A burgeoning sound, like the call of a horn, echoes across the heavens. Light spills from the blade, illuminating the darkness that blinds you. And the world shifts. Now you stand in a great hall. Banners of long-lost kingdoms hang from towering stone columns. A king in royal garb kneels before his son, the weight of age and duty upon his shoulders. He holds out the very same sword, its gleaming metal reflecting the torchlight. His voice, heavy with meaning, carries through the chamber. Says, "Take this, my son. Our line endures, not by might alone, but by the will to stand when all else falls." The young man takes the blade, his grip firm despite his uncertainty in his eyes. The gathered nobles bow their heads. A crown is placed upon his brow. The air hums with the gravity of the moment, as though the fate of an entire people rests upon this transfer of power. Your vision fades again, and reality settles back around you. You feel the weight of what you've seen. A blade, a kingdom, a duty passed from one hand to another, and now the lingering echoes of that past whisper in your blood.
Nice.
So as
That was a
the
lot.
night
That was a lot to happen after pipeweed, dude.
you sharing the vision in the moment, maybe? You guys shared
Yeah.
all your visions last fellowship phase. You get a moment to tell everybody it's happening right now, or at least after it happens.
Yeah, I'll let the party know. I just had another one of those visions we all talked about, but I mean, I'm not asleep. At least I don't think I am.
Oh, hey, the long bottom will do that to you.
I can see that, but something to do with a kingdom and a lineage and being passed on to a son, the crown, and this beautiful sword.
Maybe if we solve this riddle, that's what we'll find.
Hmm.
As the night grows longer, fire crackles on. Everybody drifts off to sleep, and can take a short rest if you have any hit die left. You guys see anybody paying attention? The new ranger sleeps very restlessly, shallow breath, fever threatening to take hold. And dawn comes, slow and gray, the light filtered through the low clouds and a rising mist that clings to the forest floor. Fire is little more than ash and glowing embers now, as the air is chilled with the kind of damp that settles deep into the bones. The events of the day before still linger, echoes of snarls, roars, and the crash of the bear through the underbrush replay like ghost in memory.
Anybody up
You
yet?
guys are, yeah, you guys are awake.
Yeah.
Freya will kind of check in on Elder and make sure he's conscious and nothing has started bleeding again.
He
Yeah, he
hasn't
wakes
died
with
in the
a.
middle of the
Eh,
night.
He
He wakes
tell
with.
he
Sorry,
tells you
go ahead.
he tells you he feels better, a little better.
Yeah, he wakes with a jolt as you touch him. You feel his skin is still warmer than it should be to the touch, but not the point of a dangerous fever. His clothes kind of soaked through with sweat from the night. But he is alive.
All right. Yeah. We're gonna pack up all our stuff, and then we're gonna start heading towards the vicinity we think this creature might be in. Could we maybe do some hunting checks or whatever to try and track this thing?
Oh
Or are we
yeah,
close enough to its territory yet?
yeah. You guys are kind of just scouting through the woods at this point, trying to find some sign of this thing. That's what you guys have been doing for the last couple days. Maybe draw
Yeah.
it out, find some sign of some strange beast that shouldn't be here. So far you guys have just seen, stuff that's normal to the area. But you get the feeling that whatever you're after is definitely not going to be normal to the area. Um,
Actually,
I'll look
Born
so go ahead, Born.
would have a suggestion on that, actually. Um, let's see. What might there be deer in these woods
Yes, there are.
or some other medium-sized creature?
Yes, there are.
Deer would be the way to go, I think. I'm gonna recommend maybe we Find and wound a deer, and then kind of tie it somewhere as bait. Lure this thing out.
Not a bad idea.
We're kind of walking with bait, but
Oh yeah. So the next morning, as you guys wake up, the wolf is still there, curled up in the bush. Fucking gave you
Freya's
guys a
going
wolf
to
and keep forgetting about it.
Freya's going to attempt to kind of like scoop it up and like hold it against her as they walk.
Yeah, so everybody kind of breaks down camp. You guys get ready to go. Freya, you and Killian kind of keeping an eye on this wolf over here in this bush as everybody's making their way. It doesn't stir at all. Like you can see it's breathing, it's alive, but it's just curled up in this little ball. Freya, you go and bend down and without warning, just scoop it up into your arms. This thing is very young. You'd probably guess maybe 3-4 months old. Doesn't weigh much, just 5 pounds or so. And as you scoop it up into your hands, you feel a piercing pain in your kind of uh, what is that called? Like the web of your hand as it bites down on your fingers, kind of in fear as you scoop it up, and it just hurts. It barely draws blood, but this wolf is still scared as it's shivering in your arms as you carry it on.
Okay. I would just kind of deal with it and just hold it close and kind of like softly hum like like mother wolves do. Just making the
Home like
a
a
little
mother wolves
rumble.
do.
Well, just like they make a
I know what you
rumbling
mean.
noise.
I know what you mean. Yeah. So, yeah, you guys set out into the woods, scouting for a deer this time. Anybody doing looking for track or any kind of sign of a deer? Roll me a hunting check.
are we looking for a deer? Everybody's cool with this?
Yeah.
And you guys can also everybody roll me perception checks.
That's what I was rolling for hunting too. And a 5.
So, perception. Okay, so Targon, Freya, Zimmy, and Borin, and Lingo. As the day reaches about mid-morning, the trees begin to thin, and you can hear the sounds of running water coming from ahead. The hunting. Killian, you get sign. You catch a couple of tracks from a deer. It seems to be a fairly decent sized one, but they seem to be at least a day, maybe 2 days old. And that's the freshest sign that you guys find in this area. Take it away.
I'll wave the party over, showing them the tracks, squatting down. So far on the exploration, trying to find a deer. These are the only ones I've came across. They seem to be a day or so old. We'd have be a hell of a trek to track them down in this. Everybody there?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so he's never
Well-
hunted before, so he's just kind of looking at you guys like, what the fuck we do then?
Well, I suppose we keep ahead looking for this creature, and if we should happen to see a deer along the way, then we nab that or some other creature to use as bait.
Aye.
I mean, a raccoon or something, something that we wound might make enough noise to draw it,
The sooner we find something that we can make bleed more than our friend here is probably for the best.
Can we use just one of those fucking boar carcasses that we cut up the other day? Do we have any pieces of that left?
It would depend on the animal. You may want the prey still alive.
The party
Well,
grows
then.
quiet. The sound of the river in the distance grows louder in your minds.
Well, then, on we go. We must find this creature, get our friend back to his home.
So you guys press on, moving further north towards the sound of the river. As you clear through the trees, you see a narrow river that winds through the land like a silver thread, its banks slick with mud. Something about this place gives pause. There's no birds here. There's no buzzing insects. Only the river's voice, steady and soft, like a whisper through teeth. As you guys move closer along the muddy bank, Killian, you notice something. Feel it at first, like a pressure almost. And then you see it, a deep gouge in the bark of a nearby tree. Claw, not by a boar or a bear or a wolf. It's 3 deep, long marks. Ragged, like something testing its edge. And nearby in the mud, what might be a print, but it's smeared wrong, like the earth recoiled as it was made. Chill wind picks up, stirring the branches. The forest watches. Whatever left those marks, it's not far.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold my arm out to get the party to halt. I'm gonna turn around and, use my 2 fingers on my eyes and point at what I'm seeing. It's got to be close.
What's a merchant order?
Yeah, so I would say you guys would need to be about here to see the print in the mud that is right here. And the claw mark in the tree is this tree here.
Born and Lingo would likely take the back.
All right.
I'm staying
I had to
right where I am,
refresh.
right in the front.
I thought you had the map black for a reason. It just didn't load for me.
Surprise!
So as you guys move closer to the edge of the river, anybody who wants to can roll a hunting check. Kind of looking at these tracks.
I see all.
Where's
Does
the roll? Sorry.
Hunting. So do you have a different modifier for a hunting check, Elder?
Oh, I didn't see it. There it is. I was just using it. I thought I had it, and I thought it wasn't on the sheet. Never mind. I don't have hunting. It should be -1 anyway. My that's +3, and hunting's
Okay.
+2. My bad.
So 22. No worries. So as the group kind of moves closer to the edge of the river to look at these these prints, it's unlike any animal you've ever seen before. The depth of the claw suggests something large, but the spacing is strange, like it walks very low to the ground. It moved north, but trail seems to vanish into the water. And as you look across the river here, Freya and Elder and Targon, you can clearly see where there's a heavy indent in the mud on this side, where it looks like something leaped from here to here.
Nice.
Does it look deep? How fast is
they-
it flowing fast?
Yes, the river, you can't see the bottom, and it is flowing decently fast. Like, it's going to take a strong swimmer to get across this river without getting carried downstream.
We've got a dwarf. We can always throw him.
Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Well, we're clearly not making it across. We gotta think of something to draw it back over to this side.
Well. I think we can make it across. Who else got rope?
What a 25-foot gap.
Yeah, roughly 25 feet.
I do not have rope.
If you go to what looks to be the narrowest area here, maybe just over 20 feet. Oh, I checked. I know a couple of you have at least 50 feet of rope.
You have an axe. You could fell one of these trees.
I have a hand axe, dude. I don't know if I'm chopping a tree down with a hand axe.
You're
that
a
might
fucking
take a
dwarf,
while.
But
dude.
I considered it though. Like it's up for yeah, we could do that. It's up for review. I know that I have 50 feet of rope. Does anybody else have rope? Probably Lingo is probably the other one. That's why no one's answering.
Probably. Yeah, I don't.
Lingo does not have rope.
Zimmy
do
has
that.
rope.
I've got
He's
a
got some
spear.
pipe weed.
Maybe we can attach the rope to an axe or a spear and lodge it into a tree.
Okay.
Get some sort of foothold on the other side.
I don't hate that idea. I'd love a little more rope.
I have no gear in this character sheet.
Well,
Zimmy said he has 50 feet, so that's 100 feet of rope.
He's got 50 feet. 100 feet's perfect. So we use one to go across, right? We use one, try and hook a tree branch across or something like that. The other one, I say we tie to a tree over here, right?
Yep.
That way, if for some reason, or else the rest of the party holds it, you know.
Yeah.
But then once we're at the other side, we can, tie the two ropes and have a secure way for people to walk
Yeah.
over.
We just need to get one person across to make sure that it's secure. So
Yeah,
the initial
and they're,
crossing is going to be the dangerous part.
are they a sitting duck for the monster? Yes, but Bourne's willing to take that risk for Zimmy. I mean, Boren's willing for Zimmy to take that risk.
I was like, oh, Boren likes somebody. Oh, nope. Never mind.
Very chivalrous of him.
No. Boren would definitely volunteer to be the one to go across himself.
I wouldn't mind going across either first.
Okay.
Killian's
So,
gonna
Warren,
take
how
some.
strong are you? We'll go by strength. How strong are you?
Oh, you're stronger.
While you guys are measuring dicks, Killian's backing up and he's gonna get a running start and jump across the river.
And then Freya just like whips out her 18-inch dick.
All right.
Killian, you're gonna jump across the river.
Are you gonna try to jump across
No.
the river, dude? Do it.
Okay, good.
Maybe
So,
if
yeah,
you let me use acrobatics.
I will attempt to collect rope from Zimmy.
Yeah, I might be able to make that. That's
And then-
about 20 feet. That's 2 feet shy of what or 2 foot more than what I can jump. Running start.
So yeah, I would like to tie a rope to my hand axe and then maybe try to. What do
Try
you
to
guys
lodge
think?
a V of
Try to grab.
a V of a tree.
Yeah. So does it have a V? Does the tree have a V?
Almost every tree has a V. You just have to find it.
Yeah.
Some sort of V.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Out here finding some V. Then yeah, I would like to attempt to fling my 50 feet of rope tied to a hand axe across and rope into that tree.
Okay. What's the distance here? About 40 feet.
35.
35,
What,
40 feet.
What would a fair AC for that be? 16?
16 sounds fair to me.
Yeah,
All right, give it a shot.
it's a tough shot.
Strength throw?
Whatever.
What is this?
it is
Athletics?
whatever it is to throw your, like, make an attack roll with your.
Like an
hand
attack
axe.
roll?
Mhm.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Plunk in the water.
You throw your axe across and it clunks off the trunk of the tree, bounces to the ground.
Okay.
Didn't quite
I'm
get
gonna pull it back. I'm gonna hand my axe to Targon. Maybe he'll have a better shot.
Can I just throw my axe? Because then we don't have to
Yeah,
go
do
through the
that
whole
then.
switching. Yeah, no.
Get it a little closer, but bounces off the trunk again.
Okay.
Yeah,
We gotta
rope
go.
it back in. You want to go? Have a go.
Yeah, let's just make a party out of it.
Everybody give it a try.
Are you trying,
Yeah, okay.
Killian?
What is going
Probably
on?
was. I don't know. That's what I'd like to know from you.
I mean,
Yeah,
a sword.
no.
This would work. It's a strength attack, so
So sword doesn't have the thrown property though.
yeah. I just didn't have anything to click on.
Yeah, so you're using
Oh, so I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's using that button, but he's gonna throw my axe, I assume.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
axe.
So that will work.
All right,
Hell yeah.
the wounded guy gets it done. This is good arm.
Can I flavor it for you?
Good throw.
Sure,
Good
sure.
throw.
Yeah. So you go to the edge of the bank and kind of take the rope, holding the slack in your bad arm, the strong arm. You take the rope and start spinning the axe around in your hand, aiming for that V in your tree. Then you extend your arm, or releasing the rope, kind of letting it thread through your fingers as it slips right through the V and kind of drops on the other side, looping itself around.
Hell yeah.
He hands it to the biggest party member. I'm not sure who that is, and says, "Hang on." And then he's gonna start to climb across.
No, you're not climbing across.
Yeah.
He's laughing. 'cause
Targon's already got the rope tied to him, right?
All right, he's laughing because you all missed.
Yeah, go ahead and laugh at us. I'm gonna grab
So,
the rope
yeah,
with my hands, tie it off on me, and then I'm gonna get a
And then
running
you have the
start
other
and
one tied to you
jump.
too, right? The one on this side
Yeah.
is also tied to you?
I should have it untied to me.
Okay. Perfect.
So I have both ropes tied to me. So hold on
Yes.
to it. And then I'm gonna get a running start, and we're gonna jump.
All right, as you jump into the water, give me an athletics check.
I would like to try to hold the slack if that'll give him any sort of advantage on that.
It'll stop
Trying
him
to
from
hold
getting
the slack
swept.
so
It'll
yeah.
stop him from getting swept downriver.
I assume there's a couple of us doing that.
Yeah. 15 is going to be good enough as you make it to the edge of the river.
Sweet. I'm gonna go straight to the tree and tie that rope off.
All right, rope is secured.
All right. Boren would let everybody else go first before helping Elder across.
How deep is the river?
So when Targon jumped in, he was not able to touch, at least from what he could tell.
Okay.
Oh boy.
All right, yeah. Freya will
It's deeper than 10 or 15 feet.
kind of hoist the pup up kind of to her shoulder and rope on across.
All right.
I'm gonna keep my eye out on the far bank, like over in here.
So with the rope secure, I'm not going to make you guys roll a check to get across. But what is the order everybody is going across? Move your tokens one at a time to the other side of the river. All right, Freya's first. Who's next? Killian's next. All right.
I'm grabbing a drink, Turner, so you can move when it's my turn. I'm near last. Sorry.
All right. Zimmy.
Lingo would likely offer to help Zimmy across.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna like use my hand, one hand on the rope, one hand on Lingo's shoulder.
All right.
And then yeah, like I said, I would come over last and I would try to carry Elder with me. Or at least
All right.
hold him, steady him. And I'd have him before me and I'd be behind him.
All right. So you two move to the edge of the bank. Elder, are you back? Damn it. Come on, Elder. Let's give him just a second.
I was muted. Sorry.
Okay. So you guys move to the edge of the bank. Without warning, the tree behind you explodes into motion. A shape drops from the branches above, like a shadow tearing itself from the canopy. It's fast, too fast. A blur of sleek black fur and sinew and claws and coiled muscle. Before anyone can shout, it crashes into the ground on top of you, Elder. The guttural snarl, teeth sink into flesh where the collarbone meets the shoulder. You barely have time to cry out before the creature wrenches you upward. And put a token out here.
Dude, I was gonna say I wanted to look up in the trees, but then you showed the path across, and I'm like, no, it's over there. We're good. Son of a bitch.
um, so before it wrenches you upward with terrifying strength, Elder, your limbs flail as you're lifted off the ground, blood spilling into the underbrush, and in a blink, the beast is gone. It turns and jumps, climbing, clawing its way back up into this tree here. Everybody roll me initiative, or in a second. Now you can do it.
Oh man.
Am I alive to roll?
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't the side of the river for Bourne to be on, dude. What's happening?
What is happening?
Yeah, when this happened, I was like, oh man, Frey should have brought up the rear.
Yeah, for some reason I can't access my initiative or walk.
What?
Oh, there we go. I know why. I'm good now.
Okay.
I had the edit button on.
Well, you were alive to roll. Uh-oh, maybe Boren goes first. Yeah, it looks like
Oh
Boren goes
man,
first.
Bourne goes first. Can I see him from where I'm at?
So you heard the noise, and you just barely turn to look as you see this thing chomp down on his shoulder, lift his body into the air, turn and jump back into the tree. Looking up into the tree, you can see some movement from branches higher up, but you can't see it directly from where you are.
Oh fuck, dude. As a player, I know it's not the thing to do, but as you know, a noble, loyal dwarf like myself, I feel like I have to 5, 10, 15, 20 draw my short sword and still no sight of him.
Yes, you can see him up in the tree.
I can see him.
Yes, so he appears to be about 25, 30 feet in the tree, and he's going to have 3/4 cover due to all the branches and his this black, sleek figure kind of blending in with the shadows.
Boren would actually try to taunt it. Then he'd pull his long sword, and he'd cut his hand. Start swinging at the tree and yelling, come on, you little bastard! I got your food right here!" As I hold my hand up, letting blood drip from it.
You to roll. I'll give it your choice: intimidation or performance.
Hell yeah. Pretty sure I'm bad at both those things. I am.
All right. Anything else?
Oof. I assume that was my action, right?
Yeah.
Boren would attempt to try to climb up in the tree. He's gotta get to Elder. He's not gonna leave him up there to die.
All right. So, how far have you moved so far? Like 10 feet?
20 feet, so I can move 5 feet up the tree.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the trunk is gonna be. You're gonna have to move like another 5 feet to get to the trunk.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, we'll
So
say
I
you get
can't move
five.
up this
Yeah,
tree.
yeah. 5 feet up the trees. That no difference.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right. It is this beast's turn. As you get closer and start climbing up the tree, you kind of getting a little better look at this thing as you see its paws clawing into the branches. Kind of peers down at you with these piercing yellow eyes. As you see, it kind of chomps down into Elder again, kind of shaking him a little bit and crawling further up the tree. Elder, you're going to take 6 points of damage.
He passes
His,
out.
his body seems to be lifeless now. Boren.
Well, that's rough.
That is rough. Across the river here, you guys watch in horror as you were waiting for Boren and Elder to cross the river. This black cat-like creature jumped down out of the tree, scooping Elder up into the up by its teeth and climbing back up into the tree, seemingly effortlessly. From behind you, you hear another ruffle from the trees as the explosion of sound happens again. As another one jumps down out of the tree towards you, Targon. It sinks its teeth into your collarbone just in the same place it did Elder, dealing 8 points of damage.
Oof.
Oh,
Was
As you are
anybody expecting 2 of them? I wasn't.
as you are now grappled, and that was 20 feet. So it turns and dragging you effortlessly along with it moves 5, 10, 15, 20 feet back towards this tree.
I'm still expecting a bigger one.
And those of you on that side of the bank turn. You turn and look as you see this cat creature grab Targon, dragging him away, getting ready to jump back into this tree. Bingo.
Timmy.
It just
Zimmy.
links fucking A, dude. Zimmy. Shit just hit the fan.
Just look at the list.
It says Jeff.
That's my name.
Your name is Zimmy.
So he's gonna pull out his flute and he's gonna start rapping his hand with the flute. You know, like not like playing the flute with his mouth, but like using it as like a percussion instrument on his arm.
Mhm.
And he's going to yell out, "Clap, snap, the black crack, crib, grab, pinch, nab, and down, down to Goblin Town you go, my lad! Clash, clash, crush, smash!" And he's gonna say that as he runs away down the riverbank a little bit.
Yeah,
thanks.
I love
Just
it.
leave me be.
So mark that off on your sheet as having used one of the songs. You won't be able to use that song again until you complete a long rest. And the effect of it is everybody gets advantage on all attacks until the start of Zimmy's next turn.
Hell yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna I'm gonna retcon that. Everybody gets advantage until the end of Zimmy's next turn, so that includes Zimmy if he attacks.
Hell yeah.
And point of inspiration for singing the song also.
Hell yeah.
If you already have 3, I'm sorry, you can't get any more, but if you don't, take one.
Oh no, we've been using them.
And is that all for Zimmy?
Yeah, that's all Zimmy's gonna do.
All right, Elder. Tell me a death save.
Did you do those privately?
No, you just roll it.
All right. Trying to.
Fucking A. Your eyes flicker open with a sharp a sharp inhale of breath. You're grappled by this cat. It's still got its fangs stuck into the side of your neck and chest and shoulder. So
draws
take your
his
turn.
he draws his short sword with his good arm and just starts stabbing over his shoulder.
No!
No way!
He was a survivor.
This guy.
For 11.
11 points of damage as you sink your short
12,
sword.
12 damage.
12
It's
damage?
12, not 11, because you
Oh.
rolled a 5 on the first dice. Which should be a 6 on a d6.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, my crit rules. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Almost forgot. So yeah, you pull your short sword, looking up at this thing, stabbing it deep into the chest. You hear it growl and snarl in pain.
And in the meantime, his bow kind of drops all the way down, just past Boren. And I guess when it matters, he rolls crits. 'Cause he hasn't
Yeah,
hit,
baby.
He has hit nothing. All right, and that's it.
All right, Lingo's up.
All right, dude. Lingo can see the one that's got Targon.
Yes, it's still on the ground, running away towards that tree. You can see its muscles
Heck yeah.
tensing as it looks like it's getting ready to jump up into the tree.
Taking my shot.
Good advantage.
Do get advantage. Gonna need that advantage. Lingo, what
Yes,
happened?
you are. 17 hits.
Yeah, it does. For 6.
For 6. You skim an arrow right through its kind of through the fatty part of its shoulder across its back. It doesn't stick in, just rips a hole through it.
All right.
Anything else?
Lingo would probably move up like. Ooh, actually. Do I still have line of sight on it right here?
Yeah. All the
Yeah,
branches you see are well up above
Okay.
like the ground. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he would want to be like not directly beneath the tree right now. There's 2, like there could be 3. And he probably would, say to the others, like, stay away from trees. And that's going to be his turn.
All right. Targon. Immense
Yeah, I'm going to
searing
take
pain
my
as you're
longsword.
immense
Go
searing
ahead.
pain as you're being drug across the ground.
I'm going to take my longsword and try to shove this thing through its back to pin it to the ground.
So you're kind of underneath it right now. It's kind of running with you, kind of
Oh.
between its paws, like dragging you.
Good shot.
But you can stab it.
Yeah, we're gonna stab it.
Give me some damage.
Come on, all kinds of damage.
Little 5, little poke.
Yeah,
Right
you
in the
give it
gut.
so you kind of pull your sword out, kind of reaching it kind of like between your arm and your chest, like where your armpit is, and jab it upwards towards the cat creature, dealing it 5 points of damage. Anything else?
Oh, yeah, can I leave my sword in there just for theatrics to make it harder for it to climb?
Oh yeah, you don't have to pull it out. I don't think. I don't know if it's gonna slow it down much.
Cool, I'm hoping it will.
All right. Anything else?
So yeah, we're leaving my sword in there. No, that's it.
All right, Killian.
You're gonna yell more than fucking one. Everybody, look out! There could still be more. And I am going to fuck this bonus action. I'm going to light one of the arrows I have prepped and take a shot at the one that I can see with Targon.
All right. Did I tell you that was gonna be a bonus action to light the arrow?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, you said if I prepped them.
Yeah. I remember.
Fuck yeah! I'm gonna use my
You,
inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it, dude. We got party points.
That'll
There it
hit.
is.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Now the thing grappled onto our teammate is on fire. That's probably fine though.
Cauterizes runes.
I see no
Huge
downside.
damage too.
And he's about to get up in a tree, dude.
Although this thing does severely flinch, that arrow went deep into its hind quarter as it's getting ready to jump up in this tree. You see its whole body language changes. You could tell that hurt it very badly.
Alright.
Hell yeah.
And then I'm gonna kind of run east along the bank and see if I can get a visual on the other one.
All right. Yeah, from where you are, you can't see up into that tree where it is at all. You can kind of see Elder a little bit, but the way this thing kind of blends into the shadows and being obstructed by the branches as well anyway, you can't really get an outline of it.
Yeah, also the rapids of the water are pulling you.
Well, the octagon pulled me. I tried going straight. Or
Octagon.
the hexagon.
That's better. Anything else?
That's my turn.
Freya.
All right. How far up is this flaming fellow?
He's on the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna run over to him and swing.
15 hits. For 6 points of damage as this thing erupted out of the tree, scooped up Targon, carried him off. Targon stabbed it in the side as you almost immediately turned to run, chasing behind it, pulling out your glaive or longsword, readying it just as Killian's arrow swoops right by your side, smacking into it. It flinches just before it jumps up in the tree. You run up behind it, stabbing it right in the back, right through the lungs and the heart, yanking your sword out as it crumples to the ground dead.
All right. I have no movement left, so I will just turn and get ready to attempt to cross the river to help out the
Thank
survivor
you,
in Boring.
Freya.
All right.
Thank you, Freya.
Yet again.
Okay.
Probably
So,
wouldn't have
Borin,
survived another bite from that thing.
as you
How
saw
far
in
up is this?
Yeah, so as you saw in this thing's last turn, it moved about another 20 feet into the tree, so it's about 40 feet up in the air right now.
40?
And you've
I can
just
move
started to
30 if I
climb.
dash. So that'll put me like just under it. I was 5 feet up. I'm gonna dash so I can get up 30 feet, and it was 40 feet up, so I'm 35 feet up. I'm right under it. Unfortunately, I can't do anything else though, so I'm just gonna yell and talk more shit.
All right.
Uh,
It is.
That's Borin's turn.
It is this thing's turn. As it looks down, starling at you, clamping down onto Elder's neck again, shaking him a bit. Elder, you're going to take another 6 points of piercing damage. As this thing.
He slumps back. He slumps unconscious again.
As this thing turns and jumps down out of the tree.
Oh, come on!
Landing 20 feet away, taking Elder with him. He is then going to run 20 more feet.
Hello?
And how mean should I be with this? Should it be an automatic failed death save for hitting the ground? I think so. Yeah, I'm going to say that damage from hitting the ground is going to be an automatic failed death save for you.
You're overreacting.
Zimmy, you see this black cat jump out of the tree with Elder in tow, running off.
Simmy's going to gasp and take a few steps back from the shore. And
All right.
he's going to just kind of stand there in paralysis in the moment.
All right. If that's all, Lingo's up.
Dude, just stepping fucking hot. Stepping
right.
hot.
All right, he's gonna move over here. I believe that's out of range though. Oh, it is not out of range. Heck yeah. Zimmy to the rescue. Or, sorry, Lingo to the rescue.
Say Lingo.
Oh, hold up.
Oh,
sorry, I
yeah.
skipped some. I skipped Elder.
All right, I'll roll that.
Yes, roll me that death save.
Hang on, I gotta get my character sheet.
So, since Lingo's here, do you want me to move back and let him do his turn?
No, do if you just finished, it's fine.
Well, you still have an attack roll if you want to do that.
Yeah, you can move. You can move back and let Lingo take over. I didn't
Okay.
hear you show up. Welcome, Lingo.
I mean, you could just finish out the turn. I'll jump in because
Okay.
I don't know what's
That's
happening.
fine. That's fine. I'm going to attack then.
All right, 17 hits.
For 7
Or
damage?
7 damage. Sink an arrow into this thing.
Okay.
And
That's going to
it
be
is-
Lingo's turn.
It is bloody.
Happened to my
Tartan.
bow.
It's
You
a
have a
bow.
bow. You have a bow. An actual bow.
This is disheartening news. I miss my sword though.
I really thought you had a bow sword up until like a couple hours ago.
We're gonna
Dude.
move up here, and
3/4 of a session, and my bow
I
sword
guess
is now
start
a bow.
bandaging my wounds because I'm not doing so hot right now, and there's no way I'm getting across this river. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to bandage my wounds, stop my bleeding.
All right. Killian.
All right. Rinse and repeat. Bonus action. Knock another prepped arrow.
That's a hit. For 10 damage.
And it's an evil man, right?
Yeah. Everything is an evil man in this game combo.
I knew it.
FYI.
It's an evil man eater.
Not the
All
bears.
right, yeah, that's my turn.
The bear wasn't an evil man. Bear is just a bear.
Yeah.
The bear was definitely an evil man. It's because it's a bear.
You literally said it's not a man bear pig when asked.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic because Convo keeps being stupid and asking if everything is an evil man.
Wow.
He's got me to chuckle on it the last couple times.
Freya,
Punchline.
punchline.
All right. I'll move there. Am I able to use my bonus to be able to get across the rope, like to the other bank?
I'll just say it's gonna be. It doesn't have to be a bonus action or anything. Just grabbing the rope, but it will be half movement crossing the river.
And how far is it?
Right there, 25 feet or so. So, like, if you dashed, you could, make it across.
All right. And that's it.
All right. Oren, cat jumped out of the tree after all that climbing you did.
Warren's pissed. He's not dumb enough to jump 40 feet out, though.
Well, you're only 35.
So he would dash down 30 feet, climbing down,
All right, you're back at the bottom of the
defeated,
tree.
into turn.
All right. Those of you that can see this thing, see it moving as it drags, kind of bites down, chomping down at a chunk of flesh that kind of pulls free as it continues to move. And the ranger's body kind of rolls to a stop over here underneath this tree. Zimmy.
Zimmy's going to run over behind Cillian and attempt to hide.
All right, roll me a stealth check. Killian cannot see you.
I'm hiding behind. Well, yeah, I'm behind him. Unless he's got eyes back there.
Oh, I
Good
So,
job.
I'm sorry, Elder, with that last attack that it did. That's another 2 Failed death saving throws. The elder is dead.
Epic red shirt performance.
Hey, quick question. Elder did drop a bow right down at the foot of this tree that I'm
He
at
did.
the bottom of, right?
He
Okay.
actually did. Yeah, you're 100% right. So what were you doing, Zimmy? I'm sorry.
I'm just hiding behind Cillian.
Okay, hiding. Lingo.
So is it just the one baddie that we're dealing with? Are there other baddies afoot?
Just the
Yes.
I heard
Yeah,
bigger
just the
people.
one baddie. I mean, sorry. Yeah, that was a bad answer on my part.
Um,
The water. The water has a heavy current. There's a rope, I think,
about there. Yeah.
around here.
Can I jump across this river?
No, you could jump into it.
Even for like in check or a athletic thing or something like that.
Nope. Your maximum jumping range is your strength score if you get a running head start.
Okay, so 9 feet. Sick.
Yeah.
So there's a rope I could grab to cross said river. Somewhere around here.
Right. So if you moving into the water and crossing through the water will be half movement, but it won't cost you anything as far as like action or anything. So if you were to dash, you could get across the river.
Okay.
He's an elf, though, right? Like
He is an
probably
elf.
run. He could probably like run across the rope, right?
Not yet. He's only level 1.
The rope's over there too.
Yeah, it's actually like. Oops, that's not what I
Like
wanted.
that.
Yeah, it's
The rope's
between
over
those two
here?
trees. It's between those two trees.
Yeah, damn. So I gotta get to this rope and then it's half speed across the rope.
Yes.
Okay. And what happens if I just jump in the water and just go grab the
You
rope?
will.
You
You
go
will have
that way.
to.
Oh,
Well, the current
gotcha.
is actually going the other way.
Oh, then you go that
But-
way.
But yeah, you'll have to make an athletics check to see if you can withstand the current swimming across without getting swept downriver.
Dude, it'd be the coolest
Okay.
elf shit ever if you like let the current grab you and then grabbed onto that rope.
That's what I was asking if I could do. But I could do an athletics check to see if I can just keep pushing on without being pulled by the current.
Yes.
Okay, and would that be normal movement speed?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to attempt to cross the river.
All right.
With my bold elven skill.
All right. Give it a go. You jump into the water. Roll me an athletics check. DC 16. That is a fail.
With my
Yeah,
elvish skill?
With your elven skill, though, you kind of. Do you want me to flavor this, or you want to take it?
No, flavor it up.
So yeah, you kind of take a.
Hold on. Sorry, guys, to interrupt, but elven skill only works on abilities that you're proficiency in.
Gotta keep
Proficient in.
ruining the fucking elven skill. No, you're
I'm
good.
sorry,
you're good.
guys.
I'm being sarcastic. He is right,
Rules
though.
layered.
He is right, though.
Okay. One of these days I'll use it correctly.
So I will say, I'll let you use your action to make a dex save of also DC 16 to try to grab the rope as you're going by it. Otherwise, you're going to be swept 30 feet downstream.
Okay, dex save 16?
Yes.
DC 16?
Yes.
We're gonna be roughly at the rope then too.
Okay.
The rope's there.
Yeah, so you get to the rope, and as you do, you jump into the water, kind of diving in, trying to bring yourself up and make those strong, long strokes across. The current was way stronger than you were thinking. As you start to get swept under, and you kind of head bobs under for a second, but you breach the surface, taking in a big breath of air, getting ready for what's to come. You see the rope coming up. You reach up and grab a hold of it, kind of shimmying yourself to the edge of the bank. Why do I keep drawing fucking circles? Get that out of here. All right, so that's your movement and action. Any bonus action?
Okay. Then that'll be my turn.
All right, Targon.
Oh, this is probably a very poor choice. I'm gonna try to jump the river. So my strength score is 18, so I'm gonna try to jump there.
Yeah, you're gonna land a couple feet short.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna ask you for the same thing. DC 16 athletics check.
He's got this.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, so you got it. You make it far enough with your jump alone. You're kind of in knee deep water as you land. Kind of bracing yourself against the current. You just lean forward, grabbing the edge of the bank and crawling up the other side.
And then we're gonna
yeah.
action dash to try to get over even farther.
All right.
Look at this hero.
There we
Yeah,
go.
nice. Yeah, you guys are acting like heroes today. I love it.
Motherfucker, don't miss.
This
Killian,
motherfucker don't miss.
see this black cat disappearing into the trees. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I'm fucking knocking another prepped arrow. Do I got a clear line of sight?
You do. And with a strong shot, your arc of your arrow should be just underneath those branches. Fucking
Wow,
miss, though.
dude.
I'm gonna
There's a
burn
pool
another
of inspiration.
I still have mine.
All right,
Maybe a
good.
good
Use
idea.
that.
Yo,
There it
There we
is.
go.
Damn.
How do you kill this thing?
it's running away from me, so I'm gonna send it, right up between its hind legs.
Gonna castrate it as it runs away.
Very nice. You knock your arrow and launch it across the river. Its arc sailing just beneath the lower branches of that tree. Arrow pinpoint accuracy as it sails just over the back of this creature, severing the spine right at the base of the skull as it crumples into a pile, as still moving forward, kind of does a front flip, crumpling into a pile as it dies.
Way to avenge me.
You guys are out of combat.
Okay. Warren would immediately run towards
Hey, we're running over here.
Elder, yeah. Oh, actually, he would immediately grab that bow up, and then he would. I got the measure tool. That's my problem.
Yeah, the clearing grows quiet again. Nothing, but not with peace. The haunting, heavy stillness that follows death. The trees sway gently above you, unaware of the cost.
Have we
You
ever
guys
seen
approach-
anybody?
Go ahead.
Ever seen anybody resuscitated, like by physical means, not by magical?
Yeah. You mean you've seen just basic CPR, medical treatment stuff?
Yeah, I would like to attempt that.
Yeah,
Can I
sure.
help him with that since we're right there?
Yeah, as you approach, though, you find him not far from where the beast lies. This ranger lies broken in the undergrowth, throat torn out, His eyes open to the
Oh.
sky as though he never saw it coming. Ground around
Throat
him
torn
is
out.
yeah. You remember I said, when he
Yeah.
dropped him, a giant chunk of flesh torn loose from where his jaws were, which he had him around the
Okay.
neck. The
Well, I'm not
ground
going to
around him is.
Sorry.
The ground around him is turned with signs of struggle, but it's clear he never stood a chance. Whatever hopes he carried into these woods died with him. The air is thick with the scent of blood and damp earth. He died far from home, without warning or farewell. Another life claimed by the growing shadow that presses from the edges of the world. Another reminder that the wilderness is no longer safe. Everybody roll me a wisdom save. Okay. 6. Okay, got everybody. Would anybody like to re-roll or use inspiration or anything?
Yeah, I'll use inspo.
Anybody else?
Oh, you have an extra inspo too. By the way, I didn't add on your sheet. We all smoked.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
max?
Forgot about that.
Is it 2 or 3 is the max?
3.
Oh.
Oh, you were already maxed?
No, I was at 2. I'll use the
Okay.
inspo I didn't know I have. Can I use it twice?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bitch.
All right, is everybody satisfied with the rolls?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. So, Lingo and Freya, you guys are kind of peering down at this lifeless body. The sense of dread and failure washes over you. This man you just barely met, but he was a ranger. He was a protector of this place. And from what you heard him say, the last of his line, and Freya, that kind of hits you extra hard. Like another Dunedain wiped out. Another
Aw.
lineage never to be seen on this earth again. Your people are growing more few and far between. Both of you are going to gain 1 shadow point, and
Jeez.
both of you weren't here at the beginning of the game. So remember,
Took one
last
away and just got it back. Yeah.
last fellowship phase you could have removed 1. So if you had 1 before, remove it. Or just leave it.
Where are we keeping track of those at?
So top of your character sheet where it says SHA
Oh,
next to your
okay.
charisma and stuff. Yeah, SHA is the points and SCA are the scars.
So
So we're
DM,
supposed to have a scar?
No. The getting rid of points during a fellowship phase, like that's just a normal happening. Scars come from you can remove up to half of your wisdom score of shadow point by procuring a shadow scar. And a shadow scar can only be removed during Yule.
Okay.
okay.
So it's kind of like a permanent shadow point.
Okay. So this bow, does it look like there's anything special about his bow? Like anything that would be definitive to his family crest on it, or what I mean, something like that. Something that would imply that this was significant to him.
Any secret compartments inside where he holds his pipe weed?
So Richard or Boren, roll me so family crest, that'd be like old lore using your tools, I think.
Yeah. I would think so.
Like looking for kind of lineage of the make.
You would let me use my jeweler's tools for that?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
without your magnifying glass, kind of looking at the grain of the wood and the any kind of
Whoa.
etchings or anything.
Why does Boren get to hold the bow?
Easy.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this old lore check then, and I'm gonna get another +2 with that because when using my tools,
You need your
I get
tools.
expertise.
But with a 14, you can tell it is of Dunedin make. And
Okay,
it
it's
seems
actually a
to
16. If that changes anything.
What, you passed the check.
Okay.
You can tell it is of Dunedin make, and it's a bit heavier and more sturdy than yours. Has a bit more draw strength to it.
Okay.
It is a great bow instead of just a normal bow like you have.
Okay. But this looks to be like, standard issue Dunedain shit, not necessarily
Yeah,
like
nothing.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to be this guy. I would like to plunder his quiver for some arrows.
I did
Actually, just
drop
take the
it.
whole quiver.
I did drop
I'll-
it on purpose because you were making a bow. My character was destined to go down. It was predestined.
Saw his stuff.
Okay, so I will allow that in this instance because it's not like any kind of special weapon. But remember what I said about your guys' stuff. When you guys get your kind of special weapons, if somebody dies, a party member dies, it's going to be buried with them.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's not this case, so you can take his bow as long as the other rangers
Alright.
allow it.
Let me make sure I can even use a great bow.
I think
So-
it's still Dex if you're Dex based.
Okay.
So the rest of you, looking down at this broken, lifeless ranger, what are you guys going to do with him?
I'm going to wrap him in his cloak and I'm going to carry him because he said he wanted to be buried next to somebody
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
the tower we're heading towards.
Right by the silver birch tree.
I am going to look to the other rangers though, and I'm going to ask, do you mind if I keep this bow?
Ray would just kind of nod and smile and say, I think he would have liked that, as long as we fulfill his wish of where he wished to be buried.
How many arrows did he have on him?
17.
Okay. I would like to turn to Zimmy, hand him my old bow and 10 of those arrows. So now you'll be able to help a little in combat.
Oh, seems like smoking some of that long bottoms loosened you up, my laddie. I'll gladly take this man's bow. I'll take your bow. Thank
If
you,
you need
boy.
help, if you need training, I'm here. I'm sure Lingo and Killian could teach you a thing or two as well.
He had 2 short swords too, for what it's worth.
Nope, you're getting buried with those.
All right.
So if everybody's cool with it, I just have a couple things I want to get to before we end the session. Probably another 20, 30 minutes or so, if that's cool.
I'm cool.
I got all the time in the world. I'm dead.
Fucking dead.
GG's, dude.
That was epic.
All right.
The double 20, and I'm supposed to be going down.
That was pretty epic.
Yeah.
I came in here like, oh, is fucking dude just part of the party, and then you died like immediately after I thought that.
Well, I told
You rolled
All
a
your fault,
critical.
Lingo. It's
I
just
told-
because you joined.
I
Yeah,
told
that's
Tyson
why
a couple weeks ago I was interested in playing a
Yeah, he
red
rolled a
shirt.
critical death saving throw and came back to life with 1 hit point, and then did more damage.
And then
Yeah.
s-
It was like carrying him up a tree, and he and then
I
did more damage to it. Like
Crit-
otherwise, I don't
critted
think we would have
again.
killed it.
critted twice in a row.
Yeah, he crit saved on the death save, and then he crit on the attack that he did to stab this thing.
I had to,
yeah,
I had
yeah.
to start whispering. I
It was
wasn't
fucking
going down like
epic.
a good red shirt.
It was epic, dude.
We got
Um,
carried.
So back to the session. So you guys are just north of the Weather Hills in the forest. He told you where his home was, Amansul, otherwise known as Weathertop, almost directly south from where you guys are if you cut through the hills. Is that what you guys would like to do?
Yeah, Bourne would certainly be interested in that.
All right. All right. So we're going to kind of skim through this. This is going to be another journeying phase, however. We added another leg to this trip before we're heading back to Bree. So, would like my guide to make me a guide check, a travel check. Very nice, very nice. So 1, 2, 3. It's slow moving as you guys make your way across the Weather Hills. How is our lifeless ranger being transported?
I'm carrying him.
You're carrying
I
him the
would-
whole way?
I would likely help with that for sure. I mean, we could probably have taken the hour or two to kind of rig together some sort of like stretcher, make it a little
It's-
easier for us.
Yeah, up to you guys.
I would also like to inspect the animal things that
Oh, okay, yeah.
attacked us because
Yeah,
I want
for sure. For sure. Roll me a nature check.
Somebody else. I said, "Ah, kitties."
I
Yeah,
will
it's-
attempt.
Definitely a very big cat. This is perfect. Nobody has any idea what these things are. Never seen one. Never heard of one. Killian, you've heard stories of black cat-like creatures. Never heard them called by anything other than shadow stalkers.
I'm gonna behead one and take it with us in a bag.
And I'll relay that information.
All right, you're
Because
beheading
we are
one of
we're
them,
going back
Freya.
to Bree, correct?
Eventually, yeah, via
Okay,
Weathertop.
Yeah. I want to take it back to Gandalf.
All right, so moving along
Both of
from.
them actually.
All right, moving
We'll make a
along.
little sled to carry him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you guys are making the sled, dragging him along. So about midday, who would be carrying the sled? Who'd be dragging the sled?
I'll do
Freya.
it.
Well, oh, okay, yeah, I forgot you're not carrying you were carrying him.
No, I'll be
So
dragging
Turn
the
on
sled.
all right,
Fred,
so
you've got your wolf to carry.
Yeah, I got the
Go.
puppy.
so day 4 of the trip comes. Sun never breaks through the clouds. The road is little more than a string of hoof-worn depressions that twist along stony hills. The earth is slick and cold. The ranger's body, being drug on this sled, stinks of death now. Near midday, the guide spots a stone-lined hollow and calls for a brief stop. The wind shifts, blowing open a fold of the dead man's cloak. The form of carrion flies erupt, bursting into the air like a black cloud. The stench hits hard. Targon, you hear a whisper in your ear. It says, he's too heavy, just leave him. You look over and see Boren standing next to you. Boren, you hear a whisper in your ear. It says, you failed him. You look behind you where seemingly it came from, seeing Killian walking behind you. Killian,
Oh, sorry.
you hear in your ear, it wasn't quick. You look over to Zimmy. Zimmy, you hear a whisper from the side of you. Says they're still watching. Look over at Lingo, thinking, why would Lingo say that to me? Lingo, you hear a whisper coming from your right, looking over to where Zimmy is. Says, you think this ends with him? Go ahead, Bourne.
Yeah, as soon as Boren heard what he thought Killian said, he'd turn to him and say, "Don't you think I know that? I did my best, damn it."
And I think I know what. I'm not. What?
I'm just gonna shake my head and say no, not yet. From what I-
Freya, sorry, I missed you, Freya. You hear coming from behind you as well, a voice saying, "We're too slow now." You turn to look at what, see the voice that seemingly came from Targon. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I forgot somebody. Carry on.
All right. Freya would just kind of look at everybody and just say, "We carry on."
Aye.
We carry on.
Keep pulling. I'm just gonna keep pulling.
So Targon, you go to keep pulling. As you take a step by, suddenly your foot slips in the mud. You go crashing down to the ground, landing flat on your butt. The body crashes to the ground and kind of rolls off of the sled, cracking its head on a stone. And this dark red ooze starts to seep out of his head. And even in death, he bleeds. Everybody, roll me a wisdom save.
I'm gonna re-roll that. Lame.
All right, everybody, let me know when you are satisfied with your rolls.
Yeah, I'm good.
Zimmy,
Mm-hmm.
you gonna try it again?
No, we're good.
Freya,
Got none left.
Lingo, Boren. I think Boren already said it.
Do I even have any left? I got
There
one
are
left. Yeah, sure.
so
I'll do
there are the fellowship points, guys. So you do have that pool of fellowship points that can be used as inspiration.
Well, I'm probably gonna be smoking weed very soon, so I'm gonna use my last inspiration.
All right. Everybody satisfied?
Yep.
All right. Anybody who rolled lower than a 13, so 13 and up is safe. 12 and down, you're going to gain 1 shadow point as this despair washes over you, seeing this guy bleeding now again, hearing these voices whispering in your head. Not sure if your company's messing with you or quite what's going on. Both of you are also going to have disadvantage on perception or insight checks until you take a short rest.
Oof.
That's what I do.
Yeah, load him back up on the sled and continue moving.
Yeah. Boren would actually stop Targon and be like, "Perhaps it's my turn," and offer to take it from him.
All right, I'll get him on. You pull.
So you guys finish the rest of the day. Into the next day, you arrive at Weathertop. Just a second. As you crest the final hill, the land seems to fall away before you. There, rising from the lit ridgeline like a jagged crown, is Amansul, the ancient watchtower. The once proud fortress lies in ruins. Its stones cracked and blackened with age, but its presence is undeniable. Even now, broken and open to the sky, it stands as a sentinel over the wild lands. Nestled in the hill, the nearest hill facing the ruin, you see a small shack with the silver birch tree sitting next to it.
There's a resting spot.
No. Spade.
Yeah, Boren too.
Yeah, you could find one at his house. He has basic tools here, very, very basic living, much like your camp, your longer term campsites, Gillian, the places that you have in Fornost and the surrounding areas.
Sorry.
Very meager living. Go ahead.
So since we're all terrible and none of us like asked him if he had any like living family or anything, Boren would check the house.
So
Either A, for somebody living there, or B, evidence of a relative somewhere that he may have been in contact with, you know?
You just
So
see a
anybody,
locket.
anybody
with,
that was sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say you see a locket, like just sitting on the table, that clearly was his wife's. Two pictures just of kind of him and her in it. No evidence of any children.
Okay.
Yeah, and anybody who was paying attention when he was talking, kind of telling his story, you would remember him saying he was the last of his line after his wife's death.
Yep. And
that's true.
he told us about the riddle location.
Yeah, and in a drawer, kind of in a nightstand, you do find a scroll with the riddle written on it, which is posted in chat.
Okay.
So what do you guys do with this ranger? The rangers of the party would know it's usually custom that rangers either get buried in a very fancy tomb or an unmarked grave. There's really no in between. They don't want the chance of enemies coming along and desecrating a marked grave that isn't well protected. So unless they have a very fancy, well protected tomb, they usually get buried in an unmarked grave.
Yeah. Well, unless he's like got his wife in like a mausoleum, then we're probably just gonna bury him in an unmarked grave next to his wife.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
With his
know.
wife? Next to his wife?
On top
Under
of
the
his
same
wife.
tree as his wife. Under the same tree as his wife. Close enough. You guys dig the hole. Takes you a few hours. Wrapping his body in his cloak, placing him down into the grave. Freya, you would know it's usually custom for the senior most ranger to say something at a funeral rites like this. Got any words that come to mind?
I'd probably just speak about how he seemed like a fine ranger bound to duty and to the way of the rangers. He knew much despair, being the last of his line, but he still fought without fear. And he died doing what he believed in.
Indeed. And reading the scroll again, just to remind everybody, it says, "Beneath the crown of broken flame, where stars were watched and kingdoms named, seek the step that never falls, the shadowed gate behind gray walls. When moonlight shines on stones made bare, the hidden path reveals the stair. Speak the name of he who saw, and through the flame unveil the law." That's where we're going to end it. Next week when we pick it up, you guys have Weathertop Tower to explore.
Hell yeah.
Good game, everybody.
So,
Good session.
Quick addition. Before he's completely covered with earth, I would like to put the warden outfits from Arched in there with him.
Nice touch. And that's where we'll call it for the night. Good game.
Liked all your writing, PT. That was great, man.
I appreciate that.
I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun being a red shirt.
I put a lot of time into writing out these scenes. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it.
Yeah, the writing's pretty good.
Thanks, fellas. Nice playing with you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Me too.
You too.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah.
I hope to
If
see
you
you around.
ever, you ever get some free time and you want to hop in and listen, or hop
Yeah,
in
hey,
and
if you have another short storyline, I'd love to do it. I'll play another character. Love to.
yeah, let me know if you have time. We'll figure
All
something
right.
out.
All right. Take it easy, guys. Good night.
You
All right,
too.
man.
Later.
Later.
See ya.
But yeah, he was just meant to add tension in his death. Really,
Nah, dude, he
I
carried that one.
I kind of left it open, like with you guys, about was he going to be joining the party or was he, not going to be joining the party, and just kind of left it open. But meanwhile, I had that planned all along. He was going to die.
Hell yeah.
He was supposed to die a turn earlier, but he fucking crit the death save and came back to life.
He
Pay no
asked you if you
attention to the
wanted
man
him to
behind the
roll it
curtains.
privately.
He
It's
did.
like, should I roll it privately? You're like, nah, public's fine. Nat 20. Like, all right.
2 in a row. Bop, bop,
Wise. Like,
bop, bop.
Sometimes you
This-
have those.
So
Killed
like,
the thing that was dragging him?
yeah, he almost did. He almost did.
I know.
So as far as these things go, they're actually based off of a jaguar, and so that's why they were able to leap so far and carry prey up trees at seemingly, their normal speed.
Yeah.
Grappling bite. That was its main thing, was the grappling bite. If it lands an attack, you take the damage and you're grappled.
I'm
and then-
dumb. I was within 5 feet of it. When it jumped down, I feel like I should have got a opportunity attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say something, but I figured you probably didn't have weapons in your hands. You're kind of
No, I
onto the
did.
tree.
I did clarify that I pulled my sword out.
Yeah, though my bad for missing that. But
We got a retcon.
its second thing was called Maul, and that attack automatically hits if the target is grappled. And but it can't hit. It can't attack anybody else. It just has that one attack per turn, and so if it
Well,
gets a hold of you, it can.
If I were to get hit again, I would have been fucked. I had like 4
Yeah.
HP.
Yeah, but they only had, like, I think it was 26. So like if you guys, I made them low enough. They did high damage, but I made it low enough HP where like if you guys focused on saving somebody, you would be able to kill it before its next turn.
Yeah. Well,
But saving
the
both of
fact
them
that
were going to be, that was going to be the challenge. Probably weren't going to
Yeah.
be able to save them both.
the fact
Oh,
that they were
experience, how
running
much
up
did we
and
get
down
from those
trees.
guys?
Oh yeah.
What'd you say?
Experience, because if you
Oh.
say 30, we should level.
Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, I forgot experience.
Oh, forget experience,
100.
man.
Yeah, I'm terrible with that, dude.
1
5,000.
So that
billion.
was 400 divided by 6, 66 experience.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
And you are level 2.
66.
Congratulations. That's right, 66.
It's got 306. What a number.
Huh? No, we're at 276 right now, right?
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
342.
Because we got 50 earlier. So now we're taking 66 or getting 66.
What's the number?
So it'd be
342.
332.
42.
342, yeah.
That's how I always was when the DM would give out experience points. I'd be like, okay, well, what number are we supposed to be at?
What's the number, bud?
Do we get to roll a custom formula like 20 D10s plus
no.
200?
So everybody's going to be taking average in this game.
Okay.
hell yeah.
Good thing you asked, because I was about to roll. Oh
Where's the
shit!
level up button?
Decisions. It's right next to the experience, but you have to like add in the experience first.
Yeah, then right above
Oh,
it, you should see the little arrow.
Oh, I have to add a virtue or a craft now.
That's what I'm saying.
I still got 2 more levels for that shit, dude.
Okay, so while we're speaking of virtues and craft, this wolf that you guys have,
Mhm.
it is a very young wolf. It's going to take 1 year for it to mature enough to where it can travel with you guys. If somebody takes the whatever the hell it's called,
Beastcraft.
Beastcraft, thank you. If somebody takes the Beastcraft virtue, they will be able to train this wolf and turn it into a companion.
Wait, we got a fucking wolf?
You got a wolf.
Oh yeah, you weren't here.
That was the first encounter.
Yeah, we got a baby wolf.
Freya is now its mom.
Yeah, we sat
Poor
around for an
Freya.
hour letting Joe bleed out so that we could tame this
That's not
wolf.
true.
Hell yeah.
That was some that was some pretty slick thinking in RP. I liked the whole little King's foil thing.
Yeah, that was smart.
So my other idea, had you guys left him at camp and went out and hunted this thing on your own, you guys were going to come back to a body that had been ripped apart by boars.
What if somebody would have stayed to protect him?
They would have got ripped apart by boars.
Yeah, the boars would have killed him somehow.
Do you have like the
So
edit?
go
Are you
go
editing?
above.
Yeah, but when I
Yeah.
go to edit, it doesn't give me the button.
I think I clicked on something
Oh, you
wrong.
popped out? That's weird.
Let me look at your sheet. That's weird because the button is totally on my screen on your sheet.
I went to go look at a craft or virtue, and I don't know which one I clicked on, and I think it just kind of like gave it to me.
Um,
And now I can't bring it back up so you can look at it.
Boren's finally got cunning action. This is huge.
With dueling, when you're holding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons, you gain a +2 bonus to damage rolls with that weapon. Does a shield count as as anything, or is if I'm sword and shield, would that still apply?
What is it again?
Dueling. While you're wielding a melee weapon in one hand and no other weapons,
That's
you gain
correct.
a
You can
plus
be
2 bonus.
you can be holding a shield. That's correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
shield's technically armor.
That's just to prevent you from two weapon fighting while using that. Which